What's up, everybody? It's your boy Angel here. First of all, I want to give a major apology to everybody that tuned in at 8 p.m. We had some technical issues happening. The whole computer system crashed, and we had to get everything reset. And big shout out to my man Steven Daniels, who came in clutch and was able to fix everything really quick, and so on. If you haven't had a chance yet, let's go ahead and hit that like button, share it with your friends, let everybody know that we are on. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel, Miami Sports Music Podcast Network, Fire and Ice Combat Sports Show. You can subscribe, you can donate to the show. This is it's a great opportunity for everybody to just kind of enjoy, great shows, especially if you like Miami sports. So tune in each and every, week. Also, every morning from 8:30 to 10 a.m., Clock Blockers with your host, who I'm getting ready to bring on here shortly, Steven Daniels, who's going to help me out for a little bit until we get everything sorted out here with the show for today, because since we're having so technical issues and stuff. But Clock Blockers morning is the Miami Sports show. You can tune in for that, and then we want to remind everybody to parental advisory, explicit content, put the kids to bed. This is a grown folks show. These fighters get real, they get raw, they speak their minds, and hey, we have a good time listening to them and enjoying them. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get going here. Let me first off bring on my guest co-host for the moment, until Mike gets on. Is my man Stephen D. What's up, Stephen?
What's up, dude? How are you?
Good. How was that quick? It go through everything real fast and just.
So I was literally on my way home from work, and it was like, bro, 911, come help, hurry up. So I was like, all right, I'm on my way, man, I'm coming. And so I tried to do my best Superman impression. I walked in the door, I haven't even said hi to my wife and kids yet.
Oh my God.
You are my priority, Angel. I just want you to know that.
Man? Shout out to your beautiful wife, man, and your family. Shout out to them, because if without her support, we wouldn't even be where we're at right now. But hey, Steven, our guest has been waiting for a while, so we're gonna go ahead and bring him on. And shout out, we got BKFC's own, my man Joe Hitman Elmore. Joe, what's up, brother? What's going on?
Chilling and enjoying this Cowboys game, waiting on y'all.
Watching a little football, huh?
Oh yeah, man. My boys got Dak back this year, so
okay.
Oh, you're a Cowboys fan.
I'm a Cowboys fan for life. Yeah, since '85.
We can't all.
Yeah, I know. It's been good. It's been good times.
The 72 Dolphins, baby. Only perfect team.
Only perfect team, baby. You see it right back there. There it
is. Hey, Dan Marino, the greatest quarterback that never got a Super Bowl. Sad, man. One of my favorites.
Shout out. Respect to Dan the man.
And, I do like Jimmy Johnson too. Jimmy Johnson's got my
Jimmy's my favorite, man. The only thing bad about the Cowboys is the owner. So
that's just about every owner and every football team around the league, brother. But yeah, man, listen, I truly appreciate you guys coming on. I appreciate your time, taking your time coming on. Sorry, we got started a little late. I wasn't expecting for the system to crash on me, right as I hit the live button. So.
It was Joe. It was Joe. We'll just blame it on Joe. That's all.
Yeah, because everything he puts his hands to goes.
Yeah,
it gets knocked out.
Want me around the antiques?
So hey, man, you're an incredible fighter. I've enjoyed watching you fight at BKFC. I followed you a little bit of your MMA career and stuff like that, and all around combat sports career. BKFC, you're one of the top fighters in the BKFC in the lightweight rankings. Tell us, man, what made you want to go into bare knuckle, and how do you feel about it?
Because, man, I grew up like that. MMA was illegal still in a lot of states 12, 15 years ago. UFC and WEC and Pride. I was watching Pride and UFC when you could still headbutt and kick dicks and stuff. So we were meeting out in the middle of cornfields. I actually fought on a card with Tank Abbott. God, was it like 2001 in the middle of a cornfield in Crestview, Florida? It was a bet. It was a private. It wasn't even a real fight, man. It was like an underground. It was a real fight. We people betting money, and And some guys was like, I'd been beating the hell out of people and was real little and unassuming back then. And man, I just go out there, no raps, and we would just fucking fight for real around the trucks and bet big money. So for me, it was awesome that you can actually have it, showcase it, and bare knuckles. I mean, like I said, I grew up in the country too, man. We get bored and throw fights and stuff, and we get a keg, charge $5 for a red Solo cup, and you roast a hog on a fire pit, and then have a bunch of fucking people fighting. We try to get guys from Dyer County or Lake County or whatever counties, the high schools that was trying to bang the same chicks and get them to fight, but sometimes it wouldn't happen. Me and my friend would get a bunch of whiskey and just kick the shit out of each other to entertain people. We recorded it.
The whiskey, sipping on a little bourbon myself.
Yeah, yeah, man. And now, man, with what they've done with David Feldman, dude, they've given a world-class UFC style look with it, the real legit fighters, and the entertainment is unstoppable. I was a wrestler. I went to state all 4 years. I love wrestling, but man, if you're a fight fan, bare knuckle is for fight fans. It is as much of a fight as you can possibly get. Yeah.
Hey, I'm a big fan, man. I look at bare knuckle. I mean, it's amazing about as fast as the UFC rose, once Dana White took it over. So it is rising extremely fast. It's becoming a beloved sport all around the entire nation. It's finally opening up in different states. Hopefully we'll see you guys in Virginia at some point. But
hey,
man,
real quick, I just want to ask a question before we get too far away from Tank Abbott. What was Tank Abbott like, bro? That real talk, Tank Abbott. Tank Abbott is
awesome,
the reason
man.
I started watching MMA.
He's one of the real, like, for me too, man. Like, I'm a Chris Lieben, Tank Abbott, early Chuck Liddell. I'm like a vicious killer, take a punch, give a punch kind of guy, and that's what he was. Tank Abbott literally, I think he took his tooth out and no mouthpiece. He had a flip out tooth or something and metal in his mouth. He took something out, went out there, no gangs, and knocked this dude out like 30 seconds. And he said hi to everybody, drank beer with everybody. He was just but he's a real fucking fighter, man. That guy, you look in his eyes and no matter where he's at, church, the bar, or you can just tell he's going to fight. I mean, yeah, man. Yeah, it's in your head.
Yeah, I mean, you've been fighting for a long time, like you said, and man, you've knocked some good people out. I mean, you definitely got devastating power in either hand. So what's it like, man, when you put that knuckle, that bone right outside the side of somebody's bare skin?
I love it, man. I love fighting. I love getting punched, man. I'm an adrenaline junkie to the fullest. I skydive and shit too. So for me, it's like when I hit Will Chope, I think they've still got it marked as the loudest punch in the history of bare knuckle. I threw that Philly shell and come up and fired him trying to step over the top of me, and I just heard wow. Look right here real close. Hold on, let's see if you can see that little dent. That's that dent, right? You see that little tiny dent on that fucking sword right there?
I love it, bro.
Now you can really see the dent.
Yeah,
That's his fucking chin, y'all.
Oh,
so when I hit him in the cheek, it cracked his cheek. It permanently did it. Now my knuckle's bigger than it was, which I've conditioned my knuckles my whole life, so it's a good thing. But man, it left a little dent in my knuckle where it cracked him so hard, and I felt his cheek. I thought I broke his whole cheek against my fist, and it made my adrenaline pump anymore. So when I'm fighting, it kind of numbs my hands out. I mean, you feel it the next day, but man, it ain't nothing like that bone cracking.
Bro, you're either going to break his face or your fist. Something's getting broke, though.
Well, look, like UFC, right? It was scary to me during the pandemic to have to go into a cage and fight in front of no people. But the most exciting thing about it was being able to hear the commentary, how the fighters reacted to Joe Rogan talking shit. They could hear everything. And then when they hit each other, it took away that soft pillow. You could hear it. In BKFC, even when there's a crowd, you still hear a crack. And you're like, oh.
Yeah, it's It's big knuckle.
Yeah.
That's all that it is, man.
Yeah.
So, dude, and you put on some bloody ass fights, man. I mean, every BKFC fight is bloody, I guess, because of the way it is. But what prepares your mindset to kind of get into that when you're knowing shit, man? I'm about to get in here with this dude. He's gonna with no padding. In MMA, you got 4-ounce gloves. In boxing, you got 10-ounce gloves. In bare knuckle ain't nothing but these two things right here, bro. So
I like war, bro. I can't explain it. Like my grandma, my papa, I've been fighting since I was probably 7 or 8 years old. Like I said, most of my friends I made growing up fighting. We just love to fight. We'd fight in the backyard. Me and this dude named Kenny Biggers and a bunch of us after wrestling practice, we didn't have jujitsu. We'd get on line and watch Eddie Bravo and these different guys choke the fuck out of each other at sleepovers and shit, just fighting in the backyard for money all the time. And so it's just, I love it. It's like, it reminds me of being a child. It makes me feel at home. And then when we go out there, it gets rid of all this aggression and all this bullshit that men go through, especially me. I have a family and people trying to do this and that in the world. And I don't let those things bother me. I keep it all tucked inside and I save it for that appropriate moment. And I get to go to war, man. I get to be Achilles. I get to be, are you not entertained? And I'm fucking going to war in front of
This is my guy.
everybody. And it don't matter if you're a doctor, if you're a football player, if you're a celebrity, you're in there fucking cheering for me to die or cheering for me to kill the other guy. And I get all that emotion all at once. Man, you can't get that shit nowhere else on earth.
Wow. So go ahead, Steven. You're getting ready to say something. I knew someone was going to remind us.
I'm trying to go into my man's fight history and everything, but let me ask you, man. So you do MMA, you have the gloves on, right? And then you decide, hey, bro, I want to try this BKFC thing. How did you get into BKFC and what made you, get into it? And besides what I already hear, that you're an adrenaline junkie and you just love to feel it.
Here's my biggest factor. What he said earlier, Angel was like, hey, it reminds me of when the UFC took off when Dana White bought it, right?
Yeah.
In UFC, when you name people, what do you name? Chuck Liddell, Tito
GSP,
Ortiz,
yep.
GSP. I mean, but even before them, guys that
Nick Abbott
created, or you'll always remember them, even if they're not good. Dan Severn, even if they weren't multi-time, Shamrock, they will never be forgotten. They'll always be legends, right? So in bare knuckle, I told my wife, even if I were one of the best in the world, and in MMA, it's become so drowned out. You can be Conor McGregor and loved 1 minute, and then everybody can hate you the next. So it's always going to be arguing over who's to go legends. And bare knuckle, I'm innovating a sport, helping it become legal in all other states. Anybody who's watching it, everybody knows my name. I have fans in Australia. Worked out just like I thought. I get to be the Chuck Liddell. Like, remember that Joe Elmore, the Hitman? Yeah. He could knock people out with his left and his right hand. And it gave me a chance to really be a legend and shine. It's something I love to do, which is that fight. So beyond the fight, and plus I believe I'm one of the best fighters in the world. Go back and look. I've never been dropped by a punch in my fucking life. I've got one of the hardest fucking heads in the whole universe. I believe in my jaw more than fucking anything else in this world. And I might not be the best fighter, but God damn it, you're going to get hit by me one time because I'm going to take that punch. And when you crack me and you hear that bone crack and I smile and lick blood off my face, let's go. I can be the world champion at this shit.
Joe, I don't want no problems, my guy. I don't want no problems. I don't want no problems, my guy.
Joe, I'm retired.
Outside of the blood, I swear I'm a lover, not a fighter.
I'm scared. I'm
a lover, bro.
I'm scared. I'm over here.
Hey, I'm in Virginia. Hey, look. Hey, so like you've had some wars. Like I said, man, you've had some war of attritions in some of your fights and stuff. Who's the hardest guy to hit you ever?
Man, that's
let's
hard.
Let's go BKFC and then let's go MMA. We can separate them.
I don't feel I don't feel I've really been hit hard in BKFC. Of course, Leonard Garcia's got one of the hardest hands I've ever felt. It was more like a 100-pound metal weight falling on your foot from 3 inches away rather than some kind of like fast baseball hitting you. So that was a very strange, man. That man's hands are some of the hardest things I've ever felt in my life. But the hardest punch, honestly, would be Ryan Jett. He hit me during a fight. I knee-barred him and broke him apart in the 3rd round, snapped his leg in half. But he hit me with a punch. And for like 3 months after the punch,
oh my God!
Even when I smile now, the nerve I couldn't feel this side of my face for 3 months. He literally cracked the nerve and fractured my part of my orbital. So right where my sinuses touches the orbital, it was a fracture and a blood clot, and it swelled my nerve. So I guess that would be the hardest I've ever been hit.
And that shit doesn't phase you at all, probably.
No, I love that shit. It makes my adrenaline button go off. I like it. It's like those guys that can get kicked in the nuts. I can't do that now. But those guys that like do the circus shit and they break boards over their nuts and they're like, ha ha! And that's how I feel when I get hit in the face. I don't know. It's just, I'm like, let's go, motherfucker. Now, because I really am one of the nicest guys you ever met. So when I get hit during a fight and I see blood, I can go, okay, now this motherfucker's hit me. Fuck, I don't give a fuck if it's my brother, my mom. Let's fuck. I mean, I don't hit women, but goddamn, we're in the cage and we're getting a fight and I'm bleeding right now. And you did that to me. So it gives me the ability to just, at that point, like, okay, thank God there's a referee. Like, oh, all right. He's going to live.
Well, let me ask you another question, man. So BKFC right now is the next up and coming thing. What is next for you? Like, where do you see your career going towards? What's the next big thing for you?
I like big fights, man. Most guys want to fight for to win fights, but I'm more like Dan Henderson and Randy Couture. I want to be more fighting big names and doing future fights like Chad Mendez. If he fucking comes in, I want to fight Chad Mendez. I want big names, big fights that people don't think I can win, that I want to go through and just crush and put on some of the most entertaining, unforgettable fights that have ever lived. Because, I mean, I've got Fight of the Year twice and Knockout of the Night. I got Fight of the Night or Knockout of the Night every fight. Even in the fights in my MMA career, I think there was only 3 fights my entire pro MMA career, maybe 4, that I wasn't, 5 that I wasn't the main event. And that's because no, I was the main event in Kazakhstan even. I flew to Kazakhstan on 3 days' notice and was the main event of representing America there. But anyway, so like I just want to put on those entertaining fights, man. I want the title, of course, but it's not the number 1 or the number 5 or whatever guy. I just want to be in some of the most entertaining, unforgettable fights ever. And I don't care about anything else. Maybe I get the title along the way, whatever.
So are they doing, let me ask you this. Are they doing, like in the UFC, they do performance bonuses. Are you guys getting performance bonuses at BKFC as well? Nice. So I've got a bonus every single fight. Yeah, you gotta be the bonus king at this point.
Yeah, me and Leonard Garcia got tied for Fight of the Night with Diaz. I got Fight of the Night and Fight of the Year for Tom Show. It's good bonuses, man. I mean, not quite UFC yet, but as it grows with what they're paying us now for fight bonuses, I think they're doing like 2,500, 5,000, depends who you are. So, right. But I'm on an upper tier, so they're treating me good. I'm happy with what they're doing me.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Well, look, man. If I don't ever want to get hit by you, but I do want to test that chin out one time. So if we ever get in the same proximity, I just want one chance to hit you, just one time. But no hit back.
We'll do the slap table and make sure you got insurance. Because if you break your hand on my face, don't say I didn't tell you so.
I will sign any release.
You got to sign a release.
I do not condone
I want you to crack a lack.
Right now. I do not condone anything of that.
So I used to work in radio here in Baltimore, is where I live. And John Jones came to the studio, and one of the interns got to get a leg punch from John Jones, like a straight leg punch in the gut. And it looked like the worst thing in the world, but he let him punch him in the stomach. And
one of the funnest things I've done is slap trivia. So me and Southside Steve in Atlanta, we did a question and answer, and whoever answered first got to smack the other person. And so we did like 5 questions. Yeah. It was a fun game.
Trivia, me and you.
You want me to do what now?
slap trivia, me and you, my guy. Me
slap
versus
trivia.
You. Yes, 5 questions.
5 questions, slap trivia.
All right, we'll do that one time.
I'll fly in and be the ref.
We'll get Joe to come in and be the ref.
I'll fly in and be the ref. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, you ready for the 5 questions, Angel?
Let's run it. Hey, let's run it, Joe. You got this? You ready for these questions?
It's rapid fire. All right, you ready?
All right, let's go.
Marvel versus DC. Who's better, Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Okay.
My guy. I
Do you
knew
like-
Joe was my guy. You know,
Do you like-
I collect both. You know, Marvel was owned by DC at one time, so that's why I had to think
A lot
about
of
it.
people don't know that.
Marvel,
You know your stuff.
Marvel was belonged to DC. I collect comics. I've got Superman #4. So I mean, I love them all. But yeah,
good name
Marvel is
drop.
my choice now. You know what I'm saying? So
All right, your Mount Rushmore or your top 5 of combat sports. Who's in your Mount Rushmore top 5 of combat sports?
God, man, Dan Gable, 4-time national champion, only lost once in his whole career. The day after his sister was murdered by his neighbor. Of course, Royce Gracie coming in and bringing jiu-jitsu into the game. Chuck Liddell, because I call my hand lefty Liddell. Right hand is called the Hendo. So Dan Henderson.
Shout out to Dan
And
Henderson.
yeah, and of course, God, man, this is a hard one for my last. Let me see who I'm gonna go with. One of my legendaries, and I got to go with Randy Couture, man. One of the great. Look at him. He fought Brock Lesnar, dude, and I'll fight up to 185, 205. I mean, honestly, they pay me $1 million, $100,000. I'll fight Joey Beltran and all of. I'll fight everybody. I'll do it. I'll do a 3-way fight.
He said he wants this heat. He said he
Hey,
wants
listen.
this heat, Max.
No, listen. Hey, no, I was joking the other day, but I ain't joking. Me and Josh Burns and Bobo O'Bannon were like, hey, dude, if they pay us enough money, we'll just do a 3-way fight. Me, you, and you. No teams, all 3 of us in the ring at one time. A bare knuckle 3-way, last man standing. We'll run that
Bro,
shit.
I
Let's
would
go.
love that shit.
I want to
Angel, if that ever happens, we got to go there live for that.
Oh, I'm going live. I'm gonna be right
Hey,
there.
my biggest idea, man, is tire boxing. I say that bare knuckle needs to come down to the world title between all these different companies, take the champions, have a tournament, and the last 2 standing out of all the companies put their foot in the fucking tire, and we fight until your foot falls out the tire. Nobody loses till you can't stand in the tire, and that's how we decide who the bare knuckle champion is.
There you go. That's like Russian type shit you see over in Russia.
No, that's that country shit. That's that country.
Well, Russia's pretty fucking country. I think that's where they come. They're just Russian rednecks, is what it is. Them good boys are crazy out there on the mountains and shit.
Out there, bro.
All right. Next question. If you could see any matchup in combat sports for anybody in the history of combat sports, dead or alive, what is your dream matchup that you would want to see?
Kimbo Slice versus anybody for the heavyweight title in BKFC.
Ooh.
Bro.
Just because they're one of my favorite bare knuckle fighters of all time.
That's like
no
the
I want to
last
see
man
Kimbo
standing.
Slice in his prime versus anybody.
Kimbo
Slice was that guy.
Shout out to the
R.I.P.
Ferguson family. 305 Dade County all day. Let's go.
Miami Sports all in the building.
Miami Sports all in the building.
Okay. All right. Next. I need a story, a raw, raunchy story.
Uncut.
Never told, like uncut. Like I want you to have a difficult
In
time
combat
telling
sports.
it because it's like, all right, I'm gonna say it to you, but it could get. I need the story of all stories. Raunchy,
The raw story
grimy,
of
a
combat
raw
sports.
story.
Man, I got so many. I
I need
don't
a good
even know
one.
what to tell you, bro. Shit.
I need one good one.
Just one good one.
Oh man, well, I don't even know what to tell you. Hold on. Okay, so one of my funniest fight stories.
That didn't take long.
Me and my best friend, man, he was a twin. It was Scott and Jeff Freeman. Me and Scott was best friends, and his brother Jeff, me and him are more alike because he was just fucking crazy. We were always fighting. And my friend Scott was he was not a troublemaker. He was actually the goody-goody of us. Not really, none of us was a goody-goody. But this motherfucker was always the one to instigate. And then he would step to the side because he knew me and Jeff was like brothers and loved him, you know what I'm saying? And we just whipped everybody anywhere we went. So we went to this club one night, and me and my boy Scott and Jeff, and of course my boy Caleb there. All these guys at my wedding. They're still some of my best friends. If they're probably one of them's probably watching tonight, Scott. Hey, and anyway, so we were at this club, man, and these guys had started shit with Caleb the week before, and I wasn't there. They whipped Caleb up pretty bad. So Caleb walks up to me at this club and he's like, hey man, look, these are the guys that whipped us over here. Da 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 da. Well, I knew one of the bouncers, so I went and told the bouncer, like, hey man, some shit's finna go down. We need like 3 minutes. And I pointed at the guys that it was, and he's like, all right, man, let me go get the other bouncers and call them in the back with my radio and say I need their help back here, so y'all have a second. So all of a sudden, they called him to the back of the club. It was called On the Rocks in Dyersburg, Tennessee. He calls him to the back, and this is the part that nobody really knows. Everybody knew about the story that Dyersburg thing, but he calls, hey, I need you guys back here, man. I got trouble at this table. Da, da, da. It was on the other side of the club. Right. So that way, when we started going over there to whip their ass and everybody crowded around, it would take them a second to get to us, and we could get this ass and going. We get over there, man, and pow, my buddy Caleb just rips off his shirt like Tarzan. He's the littlest. He couldn't, no offense, Caleb, but you couldn't fight back then. I don't know about now. But back then, you couldn't fight with shit. But he wanted to get his fucking lick in and get that sucker punch and get that dude. So he went and sucker punched that one dude. No, we didn't say nothing. We never told him. We didn't remind him. It was the guy. They probably didn't even know it's the same people from last week because everybody was so drunk. And Caleb goes over there and hits him. And Scott, why? He's uppercutting this guy. I don't know. We've already cleared the floor with these guys, beat the shit out of them. I'm sure that one of my friends broke a glass bottle of water head because they're split open. That he got a good ass punch. And my buddy, boom, about that time, one of the big bodyguards comes over here, and he knows I'm friends with the other bodyguard. So my friend's doing this, and he goes and he starts choking my friend. So I grab the other guy, and I put him in a rear naked choke, and I push Scott away, and I'm like, get the fuck away from here. Kidding, like I'm like, hey, I tell the bouncer, I've got him, go help them. And as soon as he pulls away, I look at Scott, and I still got him in a rear naked choke. Wow, my buddy pops into the floor, and then we start whooping it again. The guy comes over there, they get kicked out, and they give us all a free drink for those guys starting trouble with us. So we all got the 5 of us got free drinks. We cleared the fucking house, and the bouncer helped us do it. That was one of the best nights ever.
That's awesome.
Note to self:
that
if I'm ever in a bar and I need to start a fight,
I need to hang out with that guy.
Go,
Joe, we need to do some whiskey together, brother.
That's why I drink this on the nights that I'm around my wife instead of that, because I don't want to piss in a light socket and piss my wife off. I know. Hey,
normally
look,
I make fun of guys that drink White Claw, but I'm not.
That's what I was gonna say. So I almost told you another story. See, I keep this on the floor, but one of the funniest shit, Dylan Kleckler and me was on the same card. I'm gonna tell you another one. Dylan Kleckler, rest in peace, Stacks. It was the last time his coach Stacks would be there. We'd have big parking lot parties, and Stacks would make moonshine. Me and Chris Sorrows, Elvin Burrito, and a bunch of the other guys, they were there. They had just met me that night. If you know now, I'm a crazy motherfucker all the time. I'm energetic, ready to go. Right. And I get in the parking lot. I've literally got White Claws. They're drinking moonshine out of the back of the truck, and I'm chasing around going, motherfucker, real men drink White Claw. And I got a picture on my Facebook. Go through it. I got Elvin Burrito. I got Chris Sorrows. I made every man in that parking lot drink a fucking White Claw with me. And I was like, drink a goddamn White Claw. And they fucking drink their White Claw.
Hey, I like White Claw. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Hey,
you know, that's how you know I'm a real man. I'm drinking that shit live. You know what I'm saying?
There it is.
Hey, White Claw, we need a sponsor.
White Claw, y'all watching? Joe Elmore needs a sponsor.
Fuck them. I've already decided. I've texted them twice, and they said they didn't need to. I want you to know, White Claw, fuck you. I'm starting my own shit called Fight Claw for real men.
Yeah, let's go. You heard
Fight
it here
Claw.
first. Fire Knocks Combat.
See, now I feel like I got to that, put it on Twitter, and tag those.
Hey, White Claw's coming. White Claw's coming.
Hashtag fuck you, White Claw, Fight Claw.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna still keep drinking your shit.
Hell yeah. Meanwhile, your shit isn't that bad. Wait till mine comes out, though, motherfucker. Wait till. Hey, listen. Hey, look. Women get on my nerves, but I married one. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
look,
that's why you can't live with them, man.
Oh shit!
I get it. Don't say that to Daniel. Steven ain't gonna go there because Steven loves his wife.
No, I love my. Hey, no, my wife's in my corner. Oh, that wife's in my corner, man. She's there. She's actually my manager. Dude, I've been solo and independent. Just see Bellator. Everything I've done has been me and her. That's why she's in every single corner, every single fight. That loud woman that's talking about kill him and cut his head off, yelling from my corner, that's usually her that y'all hear in the background.
To your lovely wife, man. That's awesome.
Hey, bro. Thank you for coming on, bro.
Thanks for coming on, dude. You're amazing. Joe, tell everybody.
Yeah, man. Y'all have a blessed night.
Tell everybody where they can find you at.
Look, Facebook, I have a fan page. It's ran by me and a few other people, but also got Joe Elmore. Just add my real page on there. If you're a real fan of it, I'll delete other people and add you on there. And of course, Joe Hitman 187 on Instagram, Joe Hitman 187 on all the social media outlets, Twitter, and I just got on that new TikTok shit that my son's on.
You doing videos?
My son's trying to help. I don't know what the fuck that shit is. I try. I'm on TikTok, but I really just go, yeah.
Real quick,
I'm on there though.
You know when your next fight is?
Hopefully, I talked to Dave Fieldman. This is not confirmed yet, but we're talking about February, possibly Knucklemania 2, baby. So yeah, big. I'm like I said, I'm calling out big names. So I'm chasing down everybody that's supposed to be somebody.
I'm just saying, Angel, Steven, remember us. We need ringside tickets.
I believe it's in Miami too.
Shirt. I just want my Joe Elmore.
It's in
shirt.
Miami.
I got you.
XL,
I got you. Hey, DM me your address. I got you. Yeah, I believe it's. I know it's gonna be in Florida.
I live in a different address, so I need a size medium. Okay.
Medium.
Hey man, shout out to the Real 5. I can't. If it's in Miami in February,
we going, yo. We're going there.
I'm there.
Angel and I both gonna fly out together. We're gonna film it all.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, it has been a true pleasure having you, man. You're one of the most exciting guests we've had. It's awesome, dude. We got to bring you back on again. Dude, you're awesome. Thank you for your time, man. Enjoy your game, man. God bless you, brother. Enjoy that game, man.
God bless you, Steven, Angel. Y'all have a blessed night.
Yes, sir.
Yo, that's my guy, yo.
Dude, he was awesome.
That's my guy.
Live. He was awesome. Yo, our next guest has been waiting for a minute, so we got to bring him on quickly because, these guys, we started the show late. My bad. But anyway,
he was back there reading his fantasy football magazine.
I think I saw him reading.
He don't want no smoke. He don't want no smoke on
We're bringing him in right now. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Shelton, the Gravedigger Graves. What's up, Shelton?
What's good? Yeah.
Combat Sports Podcast, my friend. By the way, for some of y'all that don't know, I train with Shelton. I do from time to time.
I'm sorry about that, Shelton. I apologize. I'm so sorry that you have to do this.
Shelton avoids me because he don't want these hands. He don't want these hands.
Yeah, all right.
Hey, Shelton, Shelton, you smell that? It smells like pussy.
Hey, Shelton, what's up, brother, man? I'm glad you're on the show tonight, man. A lot of people don't know, but Shelton was actually is one of the highly ranked heavyweights in the U.S. and has been around the game for a long time. Was fighting overseas in Russia, representing the U.S., beating up Russians and stuff over there and shit. And now he's here back in the States. Shelton, what's going on, brother? What's up with you, man? Tell us what you got going on lately, man.
Nothing. For the most part and whatnot, the grind, never stops. I'm constantly running up and down the road, doing nothing but training and working. That's pretty much it and whatnot.
Hey, Steven's gonna be happy. Steven's gonna be happy when you mention this next one. Where do you live, Shelton?
I live in Baltimore.
Oh, bro, what's up, fam? I live in Harford County now, but I lived in Baltimore for like 11 or 12 years, bro. So where do you without giving exact pinpoint, where do you live in Baltimore?
I live over there. Right now I live in Essex.
Okay. All right. So where's your gym? Where do you train out of?
I train at a lot of spots. My main gym, Lord Irvin's. Lord Irvin's the main spot. You gotta give everything to Lord. Then I'm at Johnny Kerr's at Freeman MMA, my wrestling coach. Then I have my strength and conditioning spot, which is up in Havre de Grace. And then I got a couple spots I spotted up in Philly.
I might have to come out and do a session with you, but I mean, after about 5 minutes, I'm going to have a heart attack, and you're going to have to make sure the ambulance is on standby. That's all I'm going to say. Hey, that's all I'm going to say.
Hey, man. Hey, Shelton, heard Coach Johnny said that next time you come in, he's got 2 knuckle sandwiches for you, man.
Last time Johnny hit me and whatnot, he was 20. And that was about 8 years ago. He's telling all kinds of lies.
Hey, Coach, you're watching. Coach, you're watching here.
He can watch all he wants. He know what it is. Oh he don't want none of this smoke.
Hey, didn't he take you down not too long ago again, though?
Oh, man, he tells himself that line and whatnot. All I know is Coach Jordan be on his end and his neck when I be going to the gym with him and whatnot. But ask him.
So you better ask somebody.
Hey, man. The last time you fought was probably before COVID. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, when are you looking to have your next fight, man? What's going on with you? Are you?
I was hoping to have something. I'm sorry about that. I was hoping to have something in October and whatnot, but it's not quite going to work out and whatnot. Me and my manager, they're still kind of looking, and I'm still looking, but it looks like it's not going to work out and whatnot. But after that, I got a promise of something inside December and whatnot. So like that might be the date that I might go ahead and return and whatnot.
Are you looking to be fighting? Are you fighting overseas? Are you fighting in the States?
No, I'm gonna fight here. I'm gonna fight here and whatnot. You hear, United States and whatnot. I'll probably up in Philly or somewhere in Pennsylvania and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to that and whatnot. Just getting back out there and whatnot. It's been like a whole almost 2 years now. God, man, it's before COVID and whatnot. You feel me? Like, man, it's been rough and whatnot. You feel
Have
me?
your managers and stuff talked to anybody from like PFL, Bellator, UFC, BKFC, anything
you know
like that?
How they kind of do and whatnot. They kind of they try to see if they can poke here, poke there, poke here, poke there and whatnot. But you always just reach out and see what you can get and whatnot. So I trust them to do what they do and whatnot. And I've never been one to be idle and whatnot. I've never been that way and whatnot. It's been a lot of fights that I found myself like, all right, well, man's been trying, but I'm like, man, fuck this. Yeah, I'm trying to fight this guy. Oh, this guy ain't got nobody. This guy's super good. Nobody wants to fight him. I want to fight him and whatnot. So that's how I kind of work and whatnot.
Let me ask you, man, how'd you get out in Russia, man? How did that happen?
For ACA,
that happened. Yeah, ACA, because my manager and whatnot hit me up and whatnot, and asked me that I want to fight Amir at the time and whatnot. Amir was 2-time world champion wrestling and whatnot. And I was like, hell yeah. And you feel me? And he's like, yeah. I was like, set it up, like now. And so he sent me the contract, he signed me off the website, and I'm fighting out in Russia, and then I'm fighting out in Poland for those guys and whatnot. And they were top tier. I love their organization and whatnot. It looked out for me and my peoples and whatnot. I flew, when I come out the fights, I don't come out by myself and whatnot. I flew my family out and my coaches out.
Shelton, your new nickname, bro, is whatnot. I'm just gonna let you know. Your new nickname is whatnot.
Is whatnot.
I ain't got a
Yeah, my homeboy literally was talking about this today and whatnot. He was like, "You say whatnot way too much." I'm like,
I'm gonna start calling you whatnot. That's such a Baltimore thing, though. That's such a Baltimore thing, though.
Yeah, you feel me? That's another one I say. You feel what I mean? I said that's way too much.
My wife thinks that. She goes, "No, I don't know what you mean. Why don't you tell me?"
Oh man, well not but it is what it is. Well, I was born and raised, you feel what I mean? And
Shelton got all. It is what it is. Whatnot.
Oh my God. We might end up having some DC cats on here and have a battle.
Oh man. Y'all stay
over there and that sorry ass go-go music. Don't nobody want to hear all that.
That's trash.
All right, hold on.
Go-go music is
Pump your brakes. Y'all tripping. Y'all really tripping right now. Pump your brakes. Look, pump your brakes now.
Ain't nobody got time for that go-go
I'm gonna tell y'all Bama something real quick. Hey, Slim, I'm gonna need you to chill out right now.
Hey, who you talking to, Slim? Who you calling Slim?
Don't mute DC. Don't mute DC. DC go-go is that shit.
Listen, I go to DC.
Hey, look, ain't nobody listening to that Baltimore House talk about one time for the Perkins.
Hands up.
Anybody listening to that shit? It's a Baltimore House music.
Listen, hey, go-go ain't nothing but like Caribbean slave music. I don't like none of that. Like somebody has to pop the pads beside the beat on it. And like, that is trash. Straight trash.
Caribbean slave music. I ain't never heard that, yo.
Hey, nobody ever listening to stuff like that, man. Y'all gonna put some respect on some go-go. I'm just saying.
No, sir.
Never have, never will, and whatnot. You feel me? Like you said, most of my time I'm down DC, and I stay talking trash about go-go. Yeah,
Shelton ain't gonna be allowed back in DC ever. They gonna stop him. They gonna stop him in Arlington.
Remember that time you was
Hey,
talking
they
about
gonna
that
stop him in Arlington, Fort Washington. He ain't getting past Fort Washington. I'm telling you.
You are not welcome here.
Yeah, you are not welcome back. You get into Fort Washington, they already bucking at him. Hey, you better drive that Prius back up to B-more or something.
But you already know how it goes, whatnot. You from Baltimore and whatnot. You guys from DC.
Whatnot.
Hey, shout out to my man.
Right from each other. So
Hey.
we had a little interstate rivalry and whatnot. You feel me? It's all good, all love and whatnot. But we stayed sliding each other. This is how I go.
Hey, Shelton, man. So what made you get into mixed martial arts, man? What was the thing? Because you played college ball. So what was one of those things that made you want to kind of get into mixed martial arts and then just be like, fuck it, I just want to fight?
I got finished playing college ball, came back home, and I was just doing nothing at the time. I was kind of working and I was like, I said athletic bug and whatnot. I went to a combine. I did pretty well, but decided not to go to the follow-up. And I was like, all right, well, I don't want to play football no more.
Where'd you go to college
I went to Ellsworth and then spring ball at University of Iowa, out in Iowa and whatnot. You feel me? So that was a long time ago. But what happened was,
if you know how to play offensive line, the Dolphins need some help at O-line. I'm just saying.
The Dolphins need some help with everything.
Hey, listen, don't get this man started. He's a Ravens fan.
I can't even say nothing right now, my guy.
That best player is the kicker. I'm
no
just saying.
doubt. It's 6-yard field goal.
What? Have you got about number 8? Have you forgot about number 8? Have you forgot about number 8? Come on now, stop! Don't do that, boy. Don't do that. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Shelton, do you know where he's from?
Miami.
Miami.
Miami boy.
Put some respect on it. All day. Put some respect on it.
Yeah, he's a Florida boy. He's about 45 minutes. He's about 45 minutes. Whatever.
I didn't mean to interrupt. So go ahead. Go. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just had to say that, man. I had to throw that in.
We're gonna keep football talk for clock blockers in the morning. So anyway, back to MMA and combat sports, my friend.
How did you get it? How'd you get into it?
Well, I saw it on TV, and Brock Lesnar was the champion, and I was like, and they were talking about all this stuff about how big and strong he was, and all that. I said, I'm big, fast, and strong. I could do all that stuff. Like, man, I could do this. And I said, all right, give me 2-3 years, and I guess out there I'll be on top of the game. And then I tried it, and I was like, this is much harder than it is on TV. It's gonna take more than 2-3 years to get this done and whatnot. So at that moment, I said, all right. Shall you do one or two things? You can dedicate yourself to it and get everything that you got and whatnot, or you can quit it and go back and living your regular life. And I was like, you know what? I like this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep getting better at it and whatnot. So that's how I was. I started seeing Brock Lesnar. My first words when I came into my first MMA gym was, "Tell me how to beat up Brock Lesnar." And the coaches at the time laughed at me and whatnot. It was like, ha 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 ha. I'm like, that's petty and whatnot. And to a certain extent, they were right because I had no skills. I was just big, strong, and fast. You feel me? Play football, so I could, I had my little comeback things. I could bench press 225 about 40 sometimes, and I can run about a 4.6, 4.7 at about 300 pounds. So I had speed and had power, but I had no technique. I had none of those other things and whatnot. You feel me? And I didn't know how to wrestle. I didn't know how to box. I was just had fast hands.
We know you didn't know how to wrestle. I mean, we know you didn't know how to wrestle.
Damn, Shelton, you hating on your own person, yo.
You came to freedom MMA and became a wrestler.
Yeah, you feel me? That's all thanks to Johnny and whatnot. You feel me?
That's what you get for wrestling with an NCAA champion wrestler. You know what I mean? Shout out to Johnny Curtis.
Yeah, you feel me? So I learned how to wrestle from Johnny, and that was Coach Ron. Ron was the one that set that up.
Hey, I got to give a shout out to Miss Tamika Daniels. I'm not an MMA fighter, but I play one on TV.
That's my wife, yo.
Shout out to the wifey.
Yo, she got a mean headlock, yo. No lie, no lie.
You know what that means? Because you walked in and didn't say hi to her. She's gonna put hands on you here in a little bit,
bro.
Steven.
I know. I wasn't even supposed to be the co-host tonight, man.
No, I don't know what happened to Mike. Mike,
tell Mike he gonna have to say something. He gonna have to give a note to my wife or something. Get me in trouble.
Hey, Shelton, man.
What's good?
So you decided to say, hey, I wanted to get into fighting and stuff like that. What was it like the first time you stepped inside the cage?
As an amateur, nervous. I stepped inside the cage 3 weeks after I started training. No skills.
Wow, really?
He's
not
straight
playing
in the
with
streets of D-Moore.
Listen, not playing with you. I was 420 pounds when I started. In 3 weeks, I dropped down to 375. I was fighting at super heavyweight. I didn't even know how to throw a punch correctly. I had to really hold the guy's chin up to punch him in the face.
Wait,
literally, you see me grabbing his chin like this.
How big?
420 pounds when I first started. 3 weeks, I got down to 375. That's how much I was
you
training.
my hero, bro. Like I'm a big guy too. Like, what did you do? Like, what'd you do? Just straight train?
I straight trained and cut my diet and whatnot, and then each step it got deeper and deeper. As I started getting down, I got to about 300-pound mark and whatnot, and then it started plateauing out. Then I cut out all my carbs and everything else. So I limited my diet to about 1,200 to 1,500 calories a day.
But in the beginning, getting down, like what was your diet like? Getting from 425 down to 3, whatever.
Like I said, I cut a lot of the fats and calories stuff that I had inside my diet out, and I just grinded. I mean, I literally train 2-3 times a day. To this day, I still train 2-3 times a day, whether I'm home or on vacation.
Even for the last 2 years, even though you haven't been fighting for the last 2 years.
Yep. Still train 2-3 times a day. I'm just up the road training 2-3 times a day and whatnot. People look at me crazy sometimes and whatnot. Like, no.
What do you weigh now?
At this current moment, about 270, 275.
Oh my God, yo, you're my hero, yo. Like I'm real talk. I'll tell people my weight. I'm over 400. I'm a big guy, and I want to, but I'm not a fighter, and I like food, but I don't have a problem eating healthy food. It's a matter of finding time in the regular gym, right? Because I don't train. I got a real job. I got 2 jobs. I run a podcast network, and I got a full-time job. And I'm an amazing husband and amazing father. Yes, Tamika, I said that out loud. Anyways, but what I'm saying is,
Tamika, I need the truth. Tamika, I need facts. I need facts, Tamika. Yeah.
I'm really interested in like that part of cutting, like the food and the training. And was it more calisthenics, or were you like just
it's a combination. Most of it. Yeah, well, most of it is what you do inside the kitchen and whatnot. You feel me? You start learning as you get deeper into it and whatnot. But it's a lot of calisthenics. Train 2-3 times a day. You also got to think about it. I also work every single day for about 6-7 hours, and then I still got to train twice a day. I only work on maybe like 4 or 5 hours sleep a day and whatnot. You feel me? I've been doing that.
I like how he says that's not. I only train about 4 or 5 hours a day. Only 4 or 5 hours.
I mean, not train. I only sleep 4 or 5 hours a day and whatnot. I train like 6 to 8 hours. I train a lot. Put it that way and whatnot.
This dude is driving all over the DMV.
Now, Angel, let me ask you something, Angel. Compare. Look at what my wife said. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. You're right, baby. I can't. I don't want no problems, honey.
Hey, Tamika, let's show him the fire, girl. Get him.
No, do not do that. What I'm saying is though, Angel, you've seen a lot of fighters, and I'm sure Shelton has too. But how compared
Shelton's
to
my teammate, so yeah, we say you can say.
But what Shelton is saying, is that normal for a lot of fighters? 6 to 8 hours of training a day, the diet, the crazy diet, stuff like that.
For fighters at his level and higher, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that's probably pretty normal. You get a lot of guys. I mean, like I said, I was a pro, but I didn't. I had to train. I had to split my training up at different times because I did work a full-time job in between that. I mean, he has a job, but he also trains as much as he can. But the thing about Shelton is he literally drives everywhere and trains in multiple gyms during multiple things, probably 6 days out of the week. Has come all the way out to Winchester, Virginia to box with some of the guys there. So it takes, when you want to fight at that level, you have to dedicate yourself. And that's one of the things that I've noticed with fighters at his level and stuff, that they just dedicate themselves. They live it. It's a lifestyle. It's just, it's not, I'm going to do this shit part-time and then I'm going to go win championships. Bullshit. You'll never get there. That'll never happen.
And I always find that heavier fighters or the heavier weight classes have a more difficult time staying in fighting shape. To be athletic, to be in the, I just from what again, you guys know better than me,
right?
But I mean, I always look at like some of the big, like Tank Abbott was always a big guy. He was always a big guy, but I felt like he never won a championship. He never got the crown because he wasn't always as athletic as maybe he could have been. Would you agree or disagree?
I mean, I agree. You look at it like this, like fighters that are heavyweight fighters, and Shelton could probably tell you a lot better than me because, Shelton weighs 350 pounds, but fighters like Shelton stuff.
So he did you wrong, my guy.
Hey, heavyweights actually can go though. Like heavyweights that are fighting consistently and training all the time, like Shelton, they can go. They don't get tired like that. So
even at that big weight,
yeah, because they're athletic, they're big guys, man. So it's they're used to it. It's really what you become used to. For me, it was difficult because I walked around at a heavyweight and I fought at 155 pounds. So and I struggled. Shelton can tell you, my last fight, I was dead 90% of the time training. So it was just one of those things. Like, man, you gotta put in that work. But Shelton, this isn't about me today. We're here talking about you. How do you sustain it, man? I mean, is it just a mindset that you put yourself in, or what is it?
Yeah, it's just you know what you gotta do, and you just gotta keep on grinding. Some days are better than others and whatnot. You feel what I mean? Like today and whatnot. Woke up, did my my Pilates and my yoga and my stretching in the morning. Went out driving, then I came back. I went straight to condition, and physical condition is the hardest workout, hardest two workouts of the week and whatnot, because they literally kill me and whatnot. Like I can't feel my body. But, I get back off. I had to go do a couple things, and then I had to come back later at night, get my training in the evening and whatnot, do my bag work and my bag rounds. And, part of it, I just don't feel like getting up and doing it sometimes. I'm like, yo, you know what you got to do, so you might as well suck that up and just keep on flowing. So, that's just how I go. Whether I'm up and going, like tomorrow I'll be up in the morning, I'll be in D.C. In the evening, I'll be up in Finksburg, and Wednesday I'll be up in Philly, and I just got it. Just
bro, you just move around. Like, why?
Yep.
Is it because different gyms have something to offer? Why not just stick to one gym?
I'm chasing partners. For the most part, my main gym is with Ron and the Team Lord Urban and whatnot, and then with Johnny and those guys and whatnot too, down towards that way. But I'm chasing partners up in Philly. I get with Chris and the other guys up at Renzo Gracie. I get with Chris Dawkinson up in Philly and whatnot. And other guys at Renzo Gracie, I get up in Philly. In Fitchburg, I get with this heavyweight that's in the UFC, Alexander Romorov. I can't remember his last name and whatnot. Well, he's from Moldova and whatnot, another wrestling guy and whatnot, you feel me? In Fitchburg and then in Colombia. And then, in Baltimore, I get my boxing work. DC, I get some boxing.
Do you ever get with John Rollo? Do you ever get with John Rollo over here?
I get up to Alexander to get with at one of their spots, at ground control spots in Colombia, but I never get up with John Rollo.
Okay.
Him and Matt.
Shout out to Shogun Fights. I like what they put on before.
So yeah, they really got on with what I haven't done anything with them ever and whatnot. But when I was fighting a lot locally, there was no fight scene in Baltimore. But then when I started getting hired, all of a sudden they stopped popping up. What's the name? And they put on good shows like the arena and all that good stuff. I had plenty of teammates.
Yeah, shout out to Shogun Fights.
Yeah, they do their thing and whatnot.
What about CFFC? What about CFFC? Have they contacted you at all?
It's cool and whatnot. No, yeah, they were talking about something October 2nd, but I told my manager, I was like, it's a little close for me to be getting down to fight weight and whatnot. So I was like, yeah, that's not going to work out or whatnot, unless you want to do that super heavyweight. And he said he could find something a little bit after that and whatnot. You feel me? I tried to get with him a couple times. Just at the time, it just hasn't worked out and whatnot. But I fought with him before a couple times. Yeah. They're cool people and whatnot. You feel me?
Shout out to CFFC, man. Shout out to those guys at CFFC.
My main man though, Mike Beckham's up in Art of War and whatnot. Those guys are really those guys are real cool people. Look out for the fighters and whatnot. He's not really in it for the whole money and whatnot. He loves the game and whatnot. You feel me? He always looked out for people and always do kind of great things and whatnot. That's a promotion I think I'm talking about fighting on and whatnot, because he always been. I've been with him since the GPG days. When he was at the TCF GPG.
Global Proving Grounds, man. Yeah. Oh my God.
Way back in the day and whatnot.
Wow.
Yeah. He's always.
I fought at GPG, man. That's old school.
Yeah, whatnot. You feel me? So yeah, I've been about him since way back in those days and whatnot. He's always been good people and whatnot. Him and Haskell and those guys over there. Oh, shout out to Justin Haskell and whatnot. Right now he's down for a little bit and whatnot, but want to know if he ever hears this, I want to know, just take care of yourself and know we love and appreciate you out here. And when you get back out, we'll see you when we get here and whatnot. But we're talking about promoters. What were we talking about before promoters and whatnot? I lost track. I do that sometimes.
That's what happens when you get hit. That's what happens when you get hit in the head by
I wasn't gonna say it, but you said it.
That's what happens when you get hit in the head by Angel.
The shit. Listen, I don't get hit that. I don't get hit like that. Oh, I know I'm ugly, but look at my face. Do you see any major bruises? Do you see pop marks? No. It's the reason
except
why.
the one I'm going to give you on Friday.
Yeah. Man, Tafon coming on next and whatnot, and I'll be there tomorrow morning.
We got some people, man. I want to give a shout out to a couple people, man, that are tuning in, showing us their love and support, man. Shout out to Jack Siegel, Heather Krupski, The Hammer is watching. We got the Godfather, NorCal, Doll fan, Mark Angelo. Shout out to him. Shout out to Tamika, Miss Daniels.
The first lady of Miami sports
music. Shout out to Estefan. He had a couple questions. Big shout out to Estefan. And then we got Cap for Life. Oh, Cap for Life showing asking for us to please keep prayers for Luis Baboon Palomino. That's right, man. Shout out to Luis Baboon Palomino. We'll definitely keep him in our prayers, Cap. Thanks for reminding us and bringing that up. But yeah, man, we got
You ready for this rapid fire? You ready for this rapid fire?
The rapid fire.
Yeah, I'm down for whatever. Yeah, right. I'm down for whatever.
Here we go. First question: Marvel or DC?
DC. What do I think about it and whatnot? Marvel is more as far as comics go, they both kind of like cool, but as far as like the movies go, DC, Marvel is just so commercial. Everything about it is kind of Mickey Mouse and cartoons. You kind of know what's going to happen. Oh, do this for the earth, and we're all great people.
Look at Angel. Angel ready to fight you, yo. Angel, like, go.
I'm still a heavyweight, Slim.
Angel said, this is blasphemous.
Heavyweight right now.
So scared.
All right, actually, hold on. I'm going to bring up the first lady asked the question to you real quick. What motivates you to continue to maintain your workout regimen when you travel?
Oh, if I don't, then no. The next person is going to come up on me and get better than me. Kind of got that Kobe mentality. I'm trying to be better than the next person or whatnot. Like, so let's say, for example, we're inside the gym and somebody's working, I got to be working.
Black Mamba.
That Mamba mentality. I like it.
Mamba mentality.
Hey, you want to hear a good song, Shelton? Go look up Solo D Mamba Mentality on YouTube after this interview.
Say less.
Shout out to Solo D, man. Hey.
All right. Next question. All right. Next question is top 5 or Mount Rushmore of combat sports.
I'll start with Mark Schultz. I'll start with Dave Schultz. Godfather wrestling and whatnot. You feel me? Johnny's old mentor, my coach's old mentor and whatnot. Died unfortunately because of the shooting. We all know the story and whatnot, but the Fox and whatnot, unfortunately and whatnot. Start with him and whatnot. Technique was so crisp and everything about him and whatnot. He's always in great position and whatnot.
People forget wrestling's combat sport.
Yeah, people forget it and whatnot. But yeah, then let's go second. Let's start talking about some boxers and whatnot. Let's talk with P. Witt. A lot of people don't give it to P. Witt and whatnot. The best defensive fighter to ever live and whatnot. I know people love Floyd and whatnot.
You talking about Pernell Whitaker?
Yeah, P. Whitaker.
I gotta love P. Whitaker.
My man Sweet Pea and whatnot. Sweet Pea was just so smooth with everything that he did and whatnot. And I love the way he fought and whatnot. You follow me? Then let's go to Mighty Mouse, Demetrius. Let's go to Demetrius Johnson and whatnot. Mighty Mouse. People don't give up to Mighty Mouse.
That was the GOAT, man. That dude was the GOAT for a long time.
Yeah, Mighty Mouse, as far as like athleticism, technique, everything is absolute monster. Everything that he does, every facet of the game and whatnot.
That's 4. What's number 5?
All right, let's go with, let's see. I'm going to give it to my man, one of the more recent ones. Well, he's recent, but he's a little older now and whatnot. Diego Rigondeaux. I'm going to give it to my man, Diego Rigondeaux and whatnot. I love me some Rigondeaux. His defense, his footwork, his movement, his timing, the power shots, the combinations, his timing and everything was just so beautiful and whatnot. He wasn't the most aggressive fighter, but he was the smoothest and most efficient and strong and one of the best defensive fighters I've ever seen. Nice. And he had that power that can bop and you gone. It was over. Right.
Next question. If you could have a matchup of any 2 combat sports people, dead or alive, who would you pick to fight each other? What is the dream matchup you'd want to see?
On the whole entire world or whatnot.
He really isn't. I got to co-sign with him. He really isn't. He is Plain Jane. He is Plain Jane.
I'm not the most fun guy in the whole entire world. All I do is enjoy is having fun and hanging out with my peoples and whatnot.
Is there a good story from you like overseas in Russia? Like fighting, something crazy that happened?
The Chechens over there and whatnot. Oh, I can tell you this story. This is the most gangster shit I've ever seen in my whole entire life. We were in St. Petersburg, Russia, right? And we had weigh-ins. Now we try to work our game plan. So me, Johnny, Ron, Jeff, and another guy named John and whatnot. He's a guy who works for missionaries over towards that way, over in Russia. They allow us to go to a gym to work our game plan. So we working our game plan. We're doing everything. The gym's starting to close and whatnot. So we closing up the gym and whatnot. So we start pack our stuff. And then we start seeing these Russians, these Chechens inside there. So it was like maybe like 5 of them. We still working. Then we go downstairs. We see maybe like 10, 15. Okay, we get dressed. We come out. It's about 50, 60 of them bad boys just sitting all inside there, laughing and whatnot. And then we start looking around, and it's sketchy. So we're looking around like, yo, what the hell is going on here? And so we walk outside, and then we see the shit like you see in the movies and whatnot, the Mercedes limos and all that shit and whatnot. And I'm like, yo, let's get the hell up out of here and whatnot. John tells like, yeah, this is like one. They must be having like their meetings where they talk about the strategies for the wars and everything. Like, listen, I don't want to be in Russia nowhere where no rich get shot up and no mafia gangs and shit goes on.
And I'm like, Johnny knows all the people over
there. All I could think of was pay that man his money. Like that's all I could think of. Pay that man his money.
Hey, well, hold on, Shelton. I still got you for a second. I know you know this guy that's getting ready to come on. He says he beats you up on a regular. So
wow.
Bring it on right there.
Oh, shoot. There he is. Oh, shoot. Hey. Hey, what's up, Trump?
Barber.
You see it? You see it?
Tafon got them fights. We're not taking them breaks from the ass.
I ain't taking no break. Hey, you already know tomorrow I'm going to get you. You already know tomorrow I'm going to be here with you, man. AKA Shelton's barber, man. I saw him on here. I had to give him names.
Damn, son, the shade is real.
Hey, I knew he was on here, so I had to come on here and talk some trash, man.
Yeah, it's funny because we start like Tafon used to wake up early in the morning. We used to start this like 5 o'clock in the morning. And
right.
We start talking until we got like around 10 or 11 o'clock. People like, y'all come in talking shit. I'm like, man, we be talking.
Real, as soon as he stepped through the door, man.
Y'all that don't know,
but he don't got no hair, Sway. How, Sway?
Hey, that's my job. I do a pretty good job, man. I clean them up every time.
Yeah, all right.
He get that turtle wax going, boy. Shine that thing right on up.
Hey, man, I'm precise with it.
Listen, Tafon, I'm letting you know right now. Hey, Tafon, you a little boy.
What's up, man?
Kids, so I'm letting you know that right now. I hit kids. So
it's all good, man. I beat old men. I don't discriminate either. I beat old men. I put paws on old people too.
I will beat you on your 3rd grade lunch break tomorrow. Tomorrow your 3rd grade lunch break, you catching these hands.
All right, pull up. I'll be right there waiting for you, man. I'll get you a lunch box too.
Hey, for those people that are watching that don't know, Tafon and Shelton are actually teammates out of Team Lloyd Irvin. So all of us, just like we do at Freedom MMA with Shelton, all of us give each other shit. And so it's always funny when y'all get it for us live. But these two are always going at it. People are literally always going at it, man. It's funny as shit. And they get each other with memes and all kinds of shit.
I ain't even get to say what's up to y'all, man. Thank y'all. What's up, Angel? What's up, Damn, sorry, I don't know the other guy's name, but what's up, man?
Stephen D. Just know Stephen D. That's all you need to know.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, Tafon, man, I appreciate you taking the time to come on, brother. You just fought. You just in the UFC. You just put on a clinic, man, and beat a solid guy. How are you feeling, my brother? I mean, how you doing, man? How you feeling?
Hey, I feel great, man. I'm just right now just thinking about the next one right now, but I feel spectacular, especially making the move back to 205, which is like
where I think I need to be right now. So definitely feel great, man.
You went from middleweight to light heavyweight, and then you just fought on the 18th, and you defeated Mike Rodriguez, who had an 11-7 record that moved you to 6-1 in a decision and a UFC fight night, bro. Like you're moving on up. The eyes are on you, my guy. The eyes are on you.
Yes, sir. I hope that's the case.
What was that fight like, man? Tell me about being in the ring in that last fight, man. Like,
Cage, boy,
give me the inside scoop.
Oh yeah, I mean, like compared to previous ones, man, that one felt pretty good because I was my normal self in there, man. So it was great. I mean, everything was just like another day in there, lighting up Shelton. So I'm like, I got someone like Shelton. It's just another day. But no BS though. But like, no BS. Like, I mean, getting ready for this camp, having like Shelton and Ron working with me, and like that was like a really good boost because those guys, they like their level is a different level. So when I went in there, I was super comfortable knowing that he's not gonna have what they gave to me throughout the camp. So that was awesome.
Back in the day, he used to fight at heavyweight back in the day and whatnot. And he tell you about these things, then we can sit there and crazy. He got so scared back on the way. Anybody, he's 205. He got to go 185.
Tafon remembers this.
I don't know what this guy's talking about.
I know Tafon remembers this right here.
Hey, matter of fact, now that you pulled that out, I might have some. Now that you pulled that out, I have someone who has a bone. Why are you covering it up? I have someone. I know you know who got a bone to pick with you about that, but I do remember that for sure, man. Fighting on your show, man. That was a super cool show, man. You got it down on that show, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, you put in work, my friend.
Hell yeah, man. But my girl Anna, she got some words for you, man. She's still waiting for her belt.
Oh, that's right.
I think that's her belt. That's her belt. Hey, she in the back training right now, but I know she gonna have some words for you.
I'm gonna hand deliver it. All
right.
Irvin.
Okay.
I'm gonna deliver it this week to her.
He said it here. He said it here first.
Hey,
I got it right there.
Hey, Angel. Just so you know, he got the receipt now. He got the receipt.
I do. And Alana gonna be here.
Good. Tell her I will personally bring her the belt. I have it right there.
Okay. All right.
Yo, I know your name. Your name is Shelton, a.k.a. Shelton's Mama. Yo, I will hurt you. I'm the mama around here. The mother around here.
Oh, you just saw it? Oh, he just slow as hell.
Shelton, you like 10 minutes late, my guy. You like 10 minutes late.
He's 10 minutes late.
Oh my God!
You just not seeing that, man. You slow as heck, man. That was
You know what happens when you get hit in the head too many times? You start.
I know, right? By these things, I'm telling you.
I'm about to
Hey, just know, man. I'm up right now. You can't beat that.
Oh my God!
Let me ask you, man. So you just fought on the UFC's last card. Have you talked to Dana White? Just so everybody knows, I'm a big Dana White fan. I know people either love him or hate him. You either love him or you hate him. Just answer me, man. What is Dana like? What is did you have any interaction with him?
No. The only interaction I did have with him was in the Contender series. But he was super cool. Took pictures with me, like basically giving me some great words of encouragement. But that was pretty much about it. That's all the interaction I had.
For now, you're gonna get up here. You're gonna move up in the ranks, and then you're gonna be in the ring. You'll be like, look, Miami Sports Music Podcast Network, Fire and Ice Combat Sports Podcast. Hey, man, I need this title fight. Let's go, Dana. Come on,
yes, sir. Yeah. Slowly but surely, we're gonna get to that point where we can talk that type of shit. But right now, you gotta climb. Yeah.
Angel, go ahead.
Tafon been doing this thing for a nice little minute now too, and whatnot.
Man.
Yeah, I remember when we first came in and whatnot. I mean, he was dude. Doo-doo. No, I'm not talking trash to whatnot. He was always strong, he was athletic and whatnot, and he's been doing his thing for a nice little minute. And I always told people like, man, Tafon. Like, I talk trash about on a regular basis. He's like, who's Tafon? Like, you'll find out good enough. You'll find out good enough. He's a fighter. You'll find out. You'll learn.
Andrew, why is your background falling down like Shelton does in the ring?
Idea, man. Damn. Straight trash. Look what we got here. We got Sadiq up in here.
Sadiq, tell him what's good.
Sadiq's been he gone. Focus back on me. Leave them alone.
Yeah. Say myself, I keep telling you, nobody likes you, yo.
Yeah, shut up. Don't worry, man. I'm gonna show you how much I like you tomorrow, man. 2 o'clock, 9:30 tomorrow. Don't worry.
He said you're gonna learn today. You're gonna learn today.
You're gonna learn tomorrow.
I'm sorry. Can I host my show? I'm
sorry.
Hey, Tafon. So you fought in the Contender series. You fought a couple times in the UFC now, man. What is your ultimate goal? Obviously, it's at some point to get to the championship. But what is your goal to reach that level? What are you doing differently to get to that level of fighting in the top 10 to fighting to eventually in the top 5 and going for the title?
I mean. Like you said, the goal always is to get to that top goal of getting that belt. But right now, all I'm doing is building. With each fight, I learn something new, and all I'm doing is improving on all my skills, striking, wrestling, everything I can do to improve to make sure that I make that goal happen. So that's all I'm doing, improving every single day, and and then slowly get there.
So, who are you looking to scrap next? Like, who do you want to fight next?
I don't really have anybody in particular in mind. I'm just whoever they're giving me right now. I don't think I should be calling out anybody because I'm still just getting in there. So, my mindset right now is whoever's in front of me.
Do you want somebody in the top 15?
If that's what I get, I'm not gonna complain. They're gonna catch these hands regardless. I'm just saying whoever it is they put in front of me, the end result is the same.
Let them know.
So what do you prefer fighting at? 185 or 205?
Say again?
What do you prefer fighting at? 185 or 205?
Right now, 205, 185 weight is. I still got a lot to do, like get right with myself before I'm able to go back down there. Next time I get back at 185, I'm like, okay, completely 100% physically, and not have to do the same things for the last ones, and end up going in there and not being able to perform at my best. So 185, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do it again. But right now, 205, I feel good right here. I don't gotta do too crazy of a cut to make it. So 205 for now.
Okay. Well, I like that. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so we're going to do the speed round with him?
You ready for the speed round?
Let's get the speed round.
The what?
All right. The speed round. Five questions. You ready?
Oh, damn. All right. I don't know. Go ahead. Let's do it.
Marvel versus DC.
Oh, shoot. Marvel.
Okay.
There it is. That's my
show. You know,
I chose
hey, man. The one holding it for me, like it's the Incredible Hulk. But like ever since that last movie, that kind of messed me up. I'm kind of on the fence right now. But I'm a super big Incredible Hulk fan, so it's like Marvel. It is for me.
All right, I'm gonna add this one in here for you.
Hey, your boy Shelton chose DC. Tell he's a hater.
DC?
You need to put hands on it just for that for me, Tafon.
But to be honest with you, like if you're talking about like
do it tomorrow, I'm gonna do it on Friday when I put these things.
If you're talking about if it's like a versus battle, I'm saying Marvel because I'm a big fan of Marvel. But if you're talking about DC versus Marvel, it's like if you put them against each other, DC definitely. DC will wipe Marvel in my opinion.
He over there flip-flopping.
See, I thought he flip-flopping over here now.
All right. Next question. This is for you, but because of Shelton's answer earlier. All right, you ready? Washington go-go music or Baltimore club music?
Washington. Go. I'll take that. I don't even know. I'll go with Go Music.
Yes.
Some Baltimore club music.
How about Baltimore house music?
What the? Hey, man. Hey, man. Ron will be disappointed in you, Shelton. You know,
Shelton got that pride flag, you know.
Well, stay putting that go-go trash on, boy. I can't stand go-go music.
I'm gonna go to T. Lord Irving and with my boombox and crank go-go loud.
Yes, yes, especially when he's here. I know.
Yo, I done messed up you, my guy. I'm sorry, man.
We got.
All right, Tafon. All right, next. Mount Rushmore are top 5 combat fighters for you. All time.
All time. All right, bro. Senchai would definitely go as number 1. Mike Tyson, Ali. What's his name? It's another Muay Thai fighter. I can't think of his name right now. Sheesh. Is it Rotang? I might be messing that up. But
who?
That's how you know you don't study your game and whatnot. Where you
Hey, man.
You don't know the guy you studying.
Say again?
You don't even know the guy's name that you're studying and whatnot. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm very ashamed of myself, especially I just catching me off guard with this. But okay, then I'm just gonna throw some other ones out there. Definitely like watching what's his name? Shit, I'm at it again. Me.
God.
Shit.
There you go.
Period.
I like it.
He said, "Fuck time. I'll just go with me. We'll call it a day."
Let's go with that.
All right, next question. If you could have any dream matchup of 2 fighters, dead or alive, what would your dream matchup be in combat sports?
I'm actually gonna pick it back off of Shelton's answer because that was a pretty good answer to Ali versus Mike. That's definitely a dream matchup.
That's real original, man. That's real original.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Whatever.
Hey, it is what it is. I'm not trying to be original.
I'm with it, Tafon. I'm with it.
Yeah, it's not about being original. It's just like it's a fight that I know for. Yeah, it's about what I want to see. I would watch that fight. I would pay for that.
I don't want those hands. You give those hands to those 2 guys on the screen. I don't want no problems.
Yeah,
oh no.
I ain't got to worry about those hands. They ain't never touching me.
I made the mistake a long time ago when he was still an amateur, and he kicked the shit out of me. I ain't doing that shit no more. I'm good.
Last question.
All right.
I need a raw, uncut story. Like, I need a grimy story of you fighting. It can be in the ring, outside of the ring, but it's got to be something you've never really told anybody, you know, that maybe outside of your small circle of friends. I need a good story.
What about that one story about in Burma and whatnot? What about that one story where you were in Burma?
Hey, shut your ass up. Shut your ass up, man.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, though.
He's stupid. He said he's out there fighting lions and shit.
I didn't mean to curse on your show, but shut up.
You don't see the top right of the screen, just like Shelton don't see the screen.
Parental
advisory. You can
Shelton, I'm gonna pull out the golden clippers for you tomorrow. I'll pull out you need a different type of cut. But anyway, that's not gonna be the story because he asked me a story I'm not gonna tell anybody, and I'm gonna keep it as a story I'm not gonna tell anybody. But I will tell you a story. I will tell you a story about well, I guess the situation in Burma when I went over there with Ong. It was a different one. When after I think it was after his which fight was it? He just fought Elaine Galani.
Shout out to Ong.
And we went back. Yeah, Ong Lang Song. We went back to the hotel, and then a couple hours later, like all these military people pulled up. I think it was one of the commanders or like the president or something. They pulled up in there. Then they told us they invited us out to dinner. I went over there, trying to be in the mix and all that, and I don't feel like I should have done that because when I got in there, like his Ong's dad pulled out like this big ass bag of money and gave it to me to hold it, and I've never felt unsafe in my life like that moment ever, because there were all these militants just around me. I was like, damn, what am I about to do with this? If I drop this bag right now, I was trying to be on my best behavior. I was like, man, I'm not trying to lose my life. It was like, why he give me all this bag of money? Then they left, and I'm still holding this bag of money, and I'm just like, hey man, I don't know what to do. And then like the best sign of relief was when his dad came over there and I saw him. I dropped that bag off and dipped and went to my room because I was not about to be doing anything like that, man.
Thank you. Have a nice night.
I said, take it, yeah, man. I did not. Yes, I had to go. I did not feel safe with that money at all, especially knowing there was like all these military people around me. I don't know what the hell the situation was at that time. I just, got that out of my head. I'm dead.
I usually have this question in here too. What's the worst injury you've ever had fighting?
I would say getting I had to get stitches on my eye. I had a cut right here and right here. That's probably the worst. But during training, I did kind of tear my labrum. Actually, not.
Did Shelton give that to you?
Shelton can never.
Many injuries.
Shelton can never.
I got that neck.
Okay, it was Angel.
It's some pillow hands.
I want to know during sparring tomorrow who gets the better of who. Someone say that to me.
Oh, it's gonna be me. You already know what it is.
I'm gonna let y'all be the vote right now because y'all see I'm up right now with the name real quick. I'm up right now, so I got the best of you today. So you can
Shelton's Barber.
Shelton's Barber. So yeah, man, next year.
Shelton needs some reading.
How you gonna steal my name? I've been talking about getting you famous.
I'm pretty sure your name is not Shelton's Barber.
Hey, Tafon, what you say is, you know the difference between me and you, Shelton? I make this name look good. I make this name look good, my guy.
Hey, and I want to give a shout out to both of you guys for coming on. I appreciate you guys coming on for the laughs, man. It was great. We got to get you both back on here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hey, real quick, fellas, tell everybody. We'll start with you, Tafon. Tell everybody where they can find you at, man.
You guys can find me on all socials, Tafon_the Don. Facebook actually is Tafon Nchukwi. And I also do got that merch. You see that drip right there, TafonTheDon.com. Go pick up some drip, you know.
Hey,
if you want to,
I'm gonna DM you my address.
I need a size XL, my guy.
I need XL. We got those.
I'll get the drip.
I need a size 4X. I mean, medium. I need a size medium.
Oh, a medium.
Yeah.
Oh, we gonna work on that. Yeah. You know, if y'all need any vouchers about the drip at Shelton, he told me the other day how great and comfy my drip felt. He's not gonna admit it right now, but
I don't be doing it so I can video on top of the can stand, take videos of it. Look at that far. But I picked that bad boy. I ain't gonna lie to you. When I picked that bad boy, and I was like, ooh, I picked this up.
Hey, listen. Shelton, tell everybody where they can find you at, man.
Tafon be on Facebook and Instagram way more than I do and whatnot. But I'm on Facebook, Shelton Graves, Instagram, Free769 and whatnot. And we're doing nothing. Also, can I give a quick shout out to who's down in Florida? Who's down in Florida? We have been up here. We miss you. And Jamal, who just left and whatnot. Want to let you know we miss you and whatnot. You got to do your thing and whatnot. That was Tafon's man's right now and whatnot. You feel me? Yeah, we miss you. This is what we miss you.
Yeah, man.
All right. Hey, Tafon, whatnot? And it was good. It was good talking to you, whatnot. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And y'all can also find Shelton tomorrow 9:30 p.m. laid out on the mats.
Check the nearest hospital at 10:30. I'll see you. That's where you'll find Tafon.
Tafon, why you bring that chalk with you? Because I'm about to draw this outline on the map for you, my guy.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, it's about to be a scene.
Hey, man, I love it. Tafon the Don, Shelton, Gravedigger Graves, man. It doesn't get any better. Team Lloyd Irvin, I love it. Hey,
yes,
man.
sir. Thank you guys so much.
Shout out to Master Lloyd. Shout out to everybody that's been tuning in, man. I appreciate you guys coming on. I got to get my next guest on real quick. But, man, I appreciate you guys coming on to support, and we hope to get you guys back on the show.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us. Peace. All right, see you.
Yo, bro, those two guys were great.
That was amazing. Those guys are hilarious. They're awesome. All right, man. Without further ado, I got to bring on our next guest because we're running a little bit behind. But there he is, ladies and gentlemen, the man, Aaron Riley, former UFC fighter, lightweight killer. My man, Aaron Riley. What's up, Aaron?
Hey, Angel. How are you? Good to see you again, man.
It's great to see you, brother. How you been?
Doing well, man. Doing well. Trying to stay active, even though, like you said, the retirement was 2013, but still trying to. My biggest fight these days is trying to stay under 200 pounds, man. I used to fight at 55, but this is the biggest fight these days.
Hey, I fought at 55 too, and I'm 210, so I get it, brother. I struggle because I like the Swiss Debbie rolls, the little strawberry jelly rolls. Those are my things.
Adrian, I'm about to tell Debbie you cheating on her with Hostess. You better stop it, my guy.
Hey, man, little Debbie's my girl, man. I love it. So, Aaron, man, what's going on, brother? So besides that, what? Your last fight was in 2013. What's going on with you now, man? Are you looking to get back into competing, or are you just you're enjoying retirement?
Right now, I'm enjoying retirement. I'm still trying to stay active and train. I've moved out of the DMV. I've moved out of the DC metro area, out there back in the cornfields of Indiana, man. I'm in my third largest city in Indiana, Evansville, Indiana. And I've got a good group of guys that I'm training with at the moment. For me, my focus now is I do things in reverse, man. I'm like I'm a student now, like working on a college degree to become a school teacher.
Congratulations, brother.
I never would have saw myself in that spot, especially when I was in school. Never would have imagined. But anyway, that's the route I'm going down now. And I'm staying active by getting in the gym. Nice Guy Submission Fighting is the name of the gym. We've got a lot of guys that compete at a high level out of there. Some of the big grappling tournaments, and we're starting to make some noise on the MMA scene.
Nice.
Nathan Manis, he comes and trains over there quite a bit.
Nice.
UFC 135 pounder had a phenomenal showing just about a week or two ago in UFC. So yeah, man, we have a good solid group of guys. Try to get in there as often as I can, and train with those guys and help them with some of my old school knowledge and experience, and they keep me up to date with their athleticism and determination. So it's been a good balance, man.
Hey, Aaron, this is Steve, man. I'm excited to meet you. I'm a big UFC fan, and I've definitely followed your career. Let me ask you, man. I want to ask you about UFC back then to UFC today. Yeah. What are the biggest differences that you see from when you were fighting in the UFC compared to what the UFC juggernaut that it is now?
Boy, when I debuted for UFC back at UFC 37,
it's a long time ago.
Yeah, it's just a night and day difference. The biggest things, biggest differences are, just the mainstream acceptance. I mean, from when I debuted in 2002, you've had the Ultimate Fighter that has just put the thing in everybody's living room. We've crossed over into major sponsorship, major coverage, with ESPN, Fox Sports, the whole thing. So it's been a night and day difference. I mean, back in those days, you were always just kind of hoping to, it's like, oh man, I hope the sport makes it. I hope the sport makes it. Now the sport has arrived. The sport has been here for a long time. So it's so wild to have been part of an awesome experience and see that rise of the sport. It's been phenomenal.
And I know, and you probably heard me ask the question to Tafon. You got to understand, I have this fascination for this guy, Dana White. And I know some people hate him, and I know some people love him. Angel gets on my shaking his head every time I ask the question.
I see it.
But it don't matter, man. I feel like the reason I'm fascinated with him is because he took something that a lot of people didn't like and were fighting against, and he created something that, in my opinion, rivaled the NFL, the NBA, the NHL. He created something big that's mainstream now in America. And so what was your interaction like him back then, or what are your thoughts of him, good or bad? I want to know.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, as a matter of fact, like, man, the first time I ever even like Dana called the gym and I spoke to him like before my debut. That was back in the days when the UFC offices were pretty small, and he actually called me and we spoke, and he had seen some of my fights before and was, giving me some props. I haven't had a lot of experience with Dana because Joe Silva, who's been retired now as matchmaker as well.
Mm-hmm.
I did most of my dealings with him. He dealt with I think it was like the 145s up to heavyweight.
Yep.
And then Sean Shelby handled the women's divisions, and then the ones down to the lighter weights. So most of my fight dealings would happen through Joe Silva. But all the times I was around Dana, he was great. But the thing is with Dana, I feel like that as long as you're on Dana's good side, yeah,
you're good. You're good.
He's a great guy to be around. But if you don't get, I mean, you don't want him as an enemy. That's the only things that I have seen. But as far as me personally, I've always had good dealings with him. So nothing to say too much there. I mean,
we don't, Aaron. We're not all haters like Angel. I got you. I understand. Such a hater. Go ahead, Angel. I'm sorry. I'm just messing with you,
man. So what? So you started fighting back in like the 90s, 1997 or something like that, and you fought through 2013. That's a pretty long career. My question to you is, what made you get into mixed martial arts? What was the thing that you said, all right, I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to go out and fight and just get caught up and just go out there and just punch people in the face and kick them in the face. So what made you kind of want to get into that?
Growing up on a steady diet of action movies and pro wrestling as a kid always had me pretty excited. When I grew up, pretty much like I wanted to grow up and be a ninja or like a Navy SEAL or that type of thing as a kid.
Ninja, I like it.
Yeah. But okay, I'm 12 years old and I see like the ad in Black Belt magazine, which that's kind of a staple for old school martial arts guys. Nowadays, people are like, well, what? Black Belt magazine? What the hell are you talking about?
They actually still around though. Black Belt magazine is still around.
It is.
Yeah.
That's some staying power, man. I think they came out in like the 60s. But yeah, I saw an ad for UFC in that, and it was just like a full page ad, and I was like, wow, I got to check this thing out. And I didn't see the initial pay-per-view, but somebody lent me a video, and then as soon as I saw it, it was really funny. Another side note of that is I read an article in another martial arts magazine a few weeks before that, and it kind of highlighted the Gracie family. And I was like 12. I read the article and I'm like, they have the Gracie challenge, and I felt like, man, these guys seem arrogant. I don't know. I don't like these guys. So then the UFC happens. And then my judo coach, he watches it and tapes it. And then I said, oh, how was the fight? And then he said, the judo guy won the UFC. And I was like, oh, okay. So I get the tape, I watch it. I was more into stand-up fighting. I want to see the stand-up fighters do well, right? Because that's exciting to watch. Not only did the stand-up fighters not win, and not only did a judo guy not win, a jiu-jitsu guy wins, and he's from that family that I read about 2 weeks ago in the martial arts magazine. It pissed me off, and I was like, dude, I've got to get in the UFC and beat these guys up. That was my motivation to get in UFC. I
love it.
So, man, so a lot of people don't know, you started fighting professionally at 16 years old.
That's right.
That's incredible. At the old hook and shoot. God, I remember.
You won your first fight.
How far back. I've been following combat sports for a long time. So, I mean, it's just, wow, at 16 years of age, you turned pro, which is, really unheard of. It's hard to even, you can't even do that now. But that's kind of unheard of. So
not only that, his first fight was the old school way where you fight multiple fights in one night too.
Right.
8-man tournament. Yes, sir.
So how was that?
Well, it was a trip going into the 8-man because I didn't really I really didn't know what to expect in a certain way to actually compete in MMA. I mean, I'd seen it. I'd had kickboxing. I'd had judo. I'd had high school wrestling before this. But it was a different experience than it is today. I mean, but it was phenomenal. It was kind of crazy though, because I was training at a gym in Evansville. and it was about an hour drive from the town that I lived in. And they had like a special instructor from Brazil that they would bring in, and he was also competing in this 8-man tournament. So I actually ended up fighting my instructor. I'd only been at the gym for like a couple of months, for like a month or something, month or two before this MMA 8-man tournament. And I don't know why the promoter put us both in the 8-man tournament. I mean, you know, hindsight's 2020, but I don't know. I wish maybe I just had a single match or something, because I ended up facing the guy that was kind of my instructor.
Mario, right? Mario?
Yeah, Mario Roberto.
Yep. I'm looking, man. That's crazy, man. That's just awesome.
Dude,
so
he's fought at Pride, Bulldog fights.
I was looking at his sheet, bro.
Man,
I was like, holy cow, he's fought at every big thing. He's fought at every big thing. You fought at all of them.
Yeah, I was fortunate. I was really able to do a lot of fun stuff in my MMA career. I mean, yeah, getting over to Pride though, for me, that was kind of like, I have 2 fights in my career that are kind of like my crowning achievement. One of them was my win in Pride, because, you know, that was, you know, it didn't get bigger than Pride, in my opinion. Right. I mean, UFC was phenomenal, but Pride, I mean, to me, it was just to get a
at that time, win. Pride was way bigger.
Well, yeah. Pride was it before UFC, right? Like it was the ultimate.
Well, yeah, you know, Pride came out in about 1997, I think, was their first show. And, you know, UFC had already been going, but Pride came along and they had a lot more funding. So they were doing much bigger shows, you know, bigger crowds, bigger production value. Mm-hmm. So it was just always such a, like, visually, it was just so wild to see that show, and the fights that they put on were just, you know, a lot of instant.
Oh, man, I miss Pride fighting, bro. But Pride fights were absolutely, I mean, you wanted to watch good fights. Good quality mixed martial arts fights, man. The old Pride fights back in the day. Those were amazing. Guys like Aaron Riley. You seen the Diaz brothers. You know, you see Shogun Hua. You seen all these. I mean, just so many different talents that you saw later in the UFC continue to compete. Pride had them all, and when they were young and just killers. You know, so it was great.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Rampage, Vanderlei. A lot of the guys that crossed over to UFC later. I mean, Crow Cop. I was fortunate. I got to see Crow Cop fight in person in Pride awesome. One time. That was pretty exciting for me at the time.
That's when he was just knocking everybody out with that left kick.
That's it, man.
All right, now let me go back to the UFC real quick. You have fought on the undercard of some amazing cards. You were there for Brock Lesnar. You were there for Rampage, a couple of Rampage fights. You were there. I'm going through it. I see Lesnar versus Couture. You were on that undercard. You were on Jackson and Jardine. Who else I got here? You got Anderson Silva and Forrest Griffin. You got Michael Bisping and Kang. Rampage and Evans, which, by the way, I remember watching that entire fight card. So, I mean, I was so hyped for that one. And also Rampage and John Bones. What is it like being on an undercard of some of those amazing fights?
It was cool. I mean, it was definitely like an experience, man. I mean, I remember one thing that was really kind of funny about the UFC 91, the Couture Lesnar thing. So Dana, the Angel's favorite, Dana comes backstage, okay, with 50 Cent, the rapper, and he wanted to meet Couture. He wanted to meet him before the fight, tell him good luck or whatever. So I had already fought a little bit prior to this, and 50 comes back with Dana, and then he talks to Couture and whatever, and he turns around and he sees me, and then I'm all sweaty and just done from the fight, and he just said, "Man, I saw your fight. I if I saw you in the street, I'd probably try you. But now that I saw that fight, I said, yeah, now you know better, right?" And then he just went, No, it was funny, man. Like to kind of.
That's a great story. That's awesome.
That's awesome. Hey, I got to admit, though, Aaron Riley is one of the nicest guys in mixed martial arts. I will admit that. He's a super nice guy. He's been at Fire and Ice fighting championships. He's helped us out with the play-by-play and stuff like that. So, yeah, we were honored to have him there. And like I said, originally he lived in the DMV and helped a lot of local fighters in the area. So especially those guys that were fighting out of Team Yamasaki. But what's going on with you next? Like besides fighting, have you gotten into? Has anybody tried to contact you about maybe doing color commentating or even getting back into fighting, like maybe BKFC or something like that? Or what are your thoughts on all that?
I was kind of approached about a bare knuckle event, and my focus is just a little bit not so much with competing. Not competing in that regard. I mean, I might come back and do some grappling. Like I said, first and foremost, my focus right now is just kind of getting through college, getting through school. But I'm kind of putting the same determination I had with fighting into pursuing this college degree. But I could see myself coming back and working in MMA in some capacity as far as like, maybe judging, because I feel like there's definitely a lack of good judging.
Amen to that. You ain't never lied, bud.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Horrible
you definitely judging. Robbed a couple of times. I'm not, it's not my place to say, but as a fan, I can say it. So it's just one of those things. You were robbed a couple of times, and then there was a fight that just shouldn't have been stopped. That was stopped. It was just horrible. So yeah, I think fighters.
Are you talking about the Ferguson fight? I
just think there's some fighters. I think that fighters should definitely look into becoming officials after they are done fighting. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they have a good frame of reference to understand what's going on, and I think that the MMA judging criteria and things like with people argue about the 10-point must system and versus pride scoring and all these different things, and I think that like a fighter that has a good experience, that they're very reliable in those scenarios judging. If we do have like an imperfect judging system, they can still often than not kind of balance it out and render a good decision. Where sometimes if you have a guy that doesn't have as much experience or knowledge in the sport, the 10-point must can kind of skew their outlook or the tallies there.
Right. So let me ask you this real quick. So speaking of the rules, so in Pride back in the day, you could kick a guy in the face when he's down or stomp him. What compared to the UFC, what are your thoughts on that rule itself? Do you think that mixed martial arts should allow it to happen in today's combat sports, or should it continue to be a non-thing?
I think it would change the face of the sport, and we would have new champions. That's how important I think that rule is. I believe that it would just change the game.
So you're for it.
I'm for it. I'm for knees to the head of a downed opponent. I mean, like, I think visually it looks bad, but I think in actuality it's I mean, like in Pride you could not elbow, but you could soccer kick and you could knee. I just, in my opinion, if like elbows are a great technique, but I feel like it can end fights prematurely. They're shaping up to be great fights. So if I had a choice, it's like, it can only be one or the other. Take out elbows and allow the knees and the stomps and the soccer kicks, or allow that. I would take that. Man.
I think elbows are way worse than a lot of things, because elbows can definitely do a lot of damage. It could stop a fight early just by cuts. I do have a second question to that part. So with that, because we know that obviously the UFC doesn't allow it, but ONE FC does. They do. I think they do allow a kick to the face of a down opponent. So I'm just kind of figuring out if maybe it's a U.S. thing compared to being overseas, as we know Pride was in Japan. So I don't know if that's maybe there's a difference or.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that there is some crossover with some of the people that work even with Pride. Or don't they work with ONE FC? I think there may be some.
Yeah, at least so. Yeah.
But so maybe I don't know how much it's just a political thing, like I said, because visually it looks disturbing. Oh, stomping on somebody let me tell you, like being in the position, like it's much harder to kick a guy on the ground sometimes than it looks like. It's like, you have to, it's technical. Like if you hit the guy and hurt them and they're just laying there, then okay, I know that does look bad. If you run up and punt somebody that just is defenseless,
right?
That's where you would hope maybe that somebody wouldn't, I don't know. Vanderlei, which would do it. He would just end the person. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that's.
But and what I was gonna say is Aaron, you've seen the difference of how not only the judging has been over the years, but I feel like MMA was so much more. I don't know if this is the way to say it, but it was a much more bloodier sport 15 years ago, 20 years ago than it is today. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, there's been a change. There's been a progression where, I feel like that the guys, the rules have progressed and gotten, they've gotten better to a degree. But then, like we said, they've kind of, I feel like it's a real athleticism thing now, where it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like, I still love to watch it, but man, sometimes it's kind of it's a lot different than watching it nowadays versus watching it in the old days. There's just, the sport continues to evolve, and I think that's awesome. Guys are getting, you get better athletes. There's getting to be, more money, so it's bringing in better athletes, and the sport's continually going up and getting better, more exciting. So,
well, Steven, you ready for the 5 questions?
I'm ready for rapid fire. You ready for rapid fire?
Aaron?
It's going to happen whether I'm ready or not. Fire away.
All right, man. DC or Marvel?
I heard you guys going through some of this before. Batman he's DC, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll say DC. I don't know. I know there's all the Marvel movies.
Hey, Aaron, Batman's not a real superhero, right? He's just a rich guy in a suit. That's all he is.
Yeah, I do know, but that's why I like it.
Come on.
He has ninja skills. He's a ninja.
He's not a real superhero.
He's a real superhero because he's
Superman all day, baby.
Listen,
right, anyways.
But hold up, Steven. That's where I'm coming back to, though. I'm really torn, though, because Batman's kind of my favorite because he's like a regular dude. But then I'm torn because you have Superman. That's the archetype, man. That's the original superhero, he's Marvel, right? So it's like it's really tough.
He's DC too. They're both DC. They're both so DC. Aaron, you're DC, which is fine. I like it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no. Because I'm DC all the way. Then I'm not much of a comic book guy, but
you know what? I love DC. I'm gonna be honest with you. All right, so I always give DC fans shit because I'm a Marvel guy, but I'm a Marvel
the Marvel movies are better.
Let me tell you something. DC, way better comics. DC is grittier. DC's got way better shows. Marvel has fantastic comics as well, but they got better. They've got better movies. But I'm a Marvel guy for one character, really, and one character only, and that's my man Wolverine, baby. That's it. Wolverine beats out everybody. It doesn't matter.
X-Men sucks.
Nah, come on, man. Let's keep it real.
It's tough for me, man. It's tough for me because I don't even know the affiliations, but I love the Incredible Hulk because I grew up on Lou Ferrigno.
Marvel, baby.
Lou Ferrigno, that's my guy.
Yeah, so you got the original Incredible Hulk for the TV series, and then I love the Punisher. I love that character. I love Batman. And then, like I said, Superman, he's the original superhero, man. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn.
I'm trying to sway him. To Marvel. Come on.
It's not going to happen. But you know what? We need to get Lou Ferrigno on here, Angel. That would be a dope guest, too.
Yeah, I'd like to get him.
I'd be tuning in to see.
Make that happen, Angel. Get right on it now.
I'm working on it.
All right, next question. Next question is top 5 or Mount Rushmore of combat sports. Okay,
it's got to be for me personally. It's going to be KOTOR, GSP, probably. I'm just going MMA here too. By the way,
that's fine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Fedor's got to be in there. That's 3. Man, there's a lot of good guys. I mean, Anderson is
Silva.
Yeah, he's really something.
Shout out to the Spider, who's still knocking guys out in boxing now.
Yeah, no doubt. And he has a decision over Julio Cesar Chavez's son or something. Yeah, I was very surprised by that, man. Let's see. I got. I mean, there's a lot of lighter weight guys that are phenomenal too. Like lots from Japan. I mean, gosh, man, there's just so many great fighters. It's kind of tough to come up with my last go. Man, so many.
Because you feel like you're being
we'll
disrespectful to the rest of them. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, because there's so many people across so many different weight classes. You know, the heavyweights. You know, that always sticks out in your mind. But yeah, there's you know, there's so many. And then you know, people. I hate the idea of you know, the GOAT, because it's like, okay, look, man, till history wraps up. I don't know who it's going to be till the world ends. You know,
but as somebody who runs a sports show every morning, it's a great debate. Because it encompasses everybody over different periods of time and different things. And combat sports is even better because you got MMA, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, you know, boxing. There's just so many different things. Exactly.
Boxing, yeah, karate.
It's crazy.
So,
yeah, I just feel like that yeah. I mean, to the current time, yeah, you can argue it all day long, and people do. So yeah, you'll have it.
All right, if you could have any matchup of two people, dead or alive, who would you pick?
Okay, so for boxing, that's going to be Joe Louis versus Muhammad Ali.
Very nice.
And then for MMA, it's weird. I don't know. I think that it would maybe be. I'm going way old school. It would probably be like Rickson Gracie versus Sakuraba.
Oh my
wow!
Wow!
You went back on us, my guy.
Hey, and I'm gonna tell you who's gonna win that fight. Rickson Gracie, baby. That's Rickson Gracie was that dude was a killer. Like, he was nobody.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, that one would have been because you know you had you know, they called Sakuraba the Gracie Killer, and he had all those amazing fights where he fought Hoist for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was
and
ridiculous.
All that. So, dude, they were negotiating hard for that Hickson fight with him,
and it just never happened, did it?
Oh, it never came together. That was around the time I think that Hickson lost his son. He says he lost all desire to compete. So, I mean, that was devastating loss for him, and I can see that. But man, I would love to have seen that match, as I'm sure everybody else in the combat sports world would have too. So,
shout out to our friend Kendra, who's still tuning in. Thank you, Kendra. I'm a team Batman, but love Marvel more.
Kendra don't know nothing. Kendra don't know. She don't know. All right, next question. I need a story, Aaron. I need a raw, uncut, crazy, raunchy story that you've.
Well, hold up. Before we even get into that, make sure everybody to hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Come support your boys. We're here. Actually, starting next week, we're going to be doing it Wednesdays. So we're no longer here Monday nights. We're because of
moving it to Wednesday nights.
Moving it to Wednesday nights. So we are now here Wednesday nights. So tune in next Wednesday for the next one. But yeah, go ahead now. You're good to go, Aaron.
I need a good story, Aaron. I need a great, raunchy, crazy story that you really never told too many people outside your circle. I need a good one.
Combat sports story.
Yeah, I'm trying to come up with something good. There's been all kinds of like crazy experiences. Being involved with MMA in the early days was always kind of like made it an adventure. I mean, it's a Wild West back then in a certain way. And then I got to say, one of the interesting occurrences that happened, it was kind of in a Wild West setting, was I was fighting way down in South Texas, and it was me and Eve Edwards were both on the same show. Eve fought earlier on the card, and then I fought in the main event against the guy. But man, this was a crazy thing. This is to give you an idea about how some stuff was back in the day. Eve got matched up with the guy. He was like and the guy didn't really have a place in the ring with Eve, honestly. But Eve catches the guy in a tie clinch, you know, his signature tie clinch. Starts landing some wild knees on the guy, and then you just see it looked like his mouthpiece and some stuff fell out of the guy's mouth. And then come to find out, Eve had kneed him and knocked his teeth out, and it was just like chiclets, man. They all just fell out on the ground. And Tito Ortiz was working as the referee, and Tito, it was Extreme Shootouts, the name of the show. I think there's a video of it maybe floating around out there. I know I've got a video of it, but that show was one of the craziest in the history of the sport, man. There was so much wild stuff. That was like
Tito Ortiz was reffing the fight.
Yeah, this was before.
Bro, that's crazy.
Shamrock. Yeah, this was way back when he was on his rise in UFC. Hadn't even fought Frank Shamrock yet. But yeah, so Tito, after the dude gets his teeth knocked out, Tito grabs a beer cup from a guy that was sitting ringside. He picks the guy's teeth up and puts them in the beer cup. Brings them back to the guy.
That's incredible.
That's a great story.
That's a fantastic story. That was awesome.
You had two good ones. The 50 Cent story and that one, they're both good. You had two great stories.
Oh, dude. Yeah, you'll have to have me come in another time. And
you definitely have to get you come on another time. For sure, Aaron. We're definitely bringing you back on the show, man, because you've been around the game a long time. I know you got some great stories to talk about.
Yeah, there was a couple. So some of them might even include Angel. So
So real quick question: what are your thoughts on the Paul brothers?
Wow, how much time we got left?
Angel, man, we could take a whole other hour in that subject, bro.
No, okay, like oh boy, I mean, like,
go ahead, don't sugarcoat it.
I mean, I don't like their approach at all, man. I mean, they're definitely getting people to watch. They're accomplishing their objective, right, but I don't think they're accomplishing the objective of putting the sport like. I just think that like matching up, I don't know. There's so many ins and outs. I mean, like matching up Holyfield against Vitor, that was like kind of, I don't know. That was like, that wasn't like the best look. There's just some things where I think they do things to try to attract viewership, and and I don't. I mean, like Angel said, I'm a nice guy. I'm a humble dude for the most part, and I don't like that in your face, wild, crazy approach. But then at the same time, I guess that's why they're getting all the viewership. But I mean, overall, I think that what Dana is doing with UFC is kind of more on the level than the Trilla Fight Club stuff. I mean, I watch.
I feel like boxing is just reaching. I feel like they're just trying to do anything to get people to watch boxing. I know Angel hates when I say this, but I feel like the reason that it's there is because there's not a lot of people that watch mainstream boxing anymore. No, that's just my opinion.
The only reason I disagree with that is because boxing has been around for so long. I mean, you have boxing, you have some you still got some great fights that could happen. But yeah, is there. Do more people know about fighters in the UFC compared to fighters in current boxing state? Of course, because the UFC is the mecca of combat sports at the moment. It's
but there's no way MMA or like don't get me wrong. You have other like Bellator and stuff that get some of these fighters that are at the end of their careers and big names and they fight each other.
No, they still got young talent too.
They do, but there's no way in the world that you would see some social media person on a Dana White card. It would never happen in a million years.
That's why they don't fight. That's why the Paul brothers won't fight in mixed martial arts, because they know they'll die.
But I don't even think it's because of that. I think it's because boxing, they have a thing in boxing. Boxing isn't selling well, and that's what it is.
One thing that I think that the Paul brothers have done that's good, though, is that they have broached this conversation about fighter pay again. And that is one good thing, is like I know that Dana has like kind of argued and said, oh, they're lying about their pay-per-view numbers and these different things. And he gets very testy anytime that Logan Paul or Jake Paul, they bring up the thing about fighter pay.
Yeah. Well, the press conferences
you saw
are
the
epic.
tweet. Did you see the tweet?
I did, bro. I saw the tweet.
No, I'm talking about between De La Hoya and Dana White.
Oh, dude, I follow Dana religiously on Twitter.
That was hilarious, by the way. But I can't.
It's funny because those two used to be tight. They used to be tight, both of them, and now they hate each other.
Money does weird things sometimes, doesn't it?
It is.
I gotta see if I even have it. Oh, De La Hoya is talking to Volkanovski here. De La Hoya says, "Just won a brutal battle at UFC and made 1/20th of what you're worth. At Dana White, have some fucking respect for yourself and these fighters and pay these warriors what they deserve." My man Dana White comes on there and says, at De La Hoya, Shut the fuck up, you crackhead. Faking that you had COVID and robbing me of watching you get knocked the fuck out by at Vitor Belfort. You should win an Academy Award for hospital performance.
I know, bro. Like, I was dying when I heard that. Dana White's a savage, bro.
Savagery. Savagery going both ways.
And real talk, you know what I'd want to see? I would want to see a boxing match between Dana White and De La Hoya.
That's what I was just getting ready to say. That would be the biggest selling pay-per-view, probably.
I would watch that shit.
That's a $600 million pay-per-view.
Bro,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
It would sell out more. It would sell out more than McGregor and Mayweather.
That's what I'm saying.
It would 100%. It would. Give me 8 rounds exhibition. Give me exhibition, and you can't knock anybody out. But I guarantee you, those two guys would. I would.
You know what, though? But I'm gonna be honest with you. As much as I like Dana White, De La Hoya is a boxer.
Who's
a
washed
top-level
up?
Boxer.
He's
he may be washed up, but he's still dangerous.
I would never get in the ring with his ass, but I think Dana would. But Dana
doesn't have the boxing pedigree that this dude does. I know you're a Dana White fan. It's okay. I get it.
You're such a hater, Dana.
You're thinking realistically. You're not even thinking realistically.
I don't care. Dana would whoop his ass.
Aaron, who do you think wins that fight?
Boy, I got to lean towards De La Hoya on that, but I will say though that I mean Dana ain't afraid. He was ready to box Tito back in the day too.
I never said that he wasn't afraid of that. It's not about being afraid.
No. But I think De La Hoya would touch him up.
Dude,
I think
De La Hoya in his prime boxed your boy Shaq. And Shaq landed punches, but did nothing to De La Hoya. And De La Hoya just danced around him and beat him up.
That's not even a real fight. Come on.
It doesn't matter. It's an exhibition. It's an 8-round exhibition.
I can't believe in an argument about this. You brought up the Shaq De La Hoya.
Who wins the fight between Shaq and Dana White?
Oh, man. Dana White whoops Shaq's ass every day.
Yes. No way.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, y'all sleeping on Dana. Dana, if you are watching right now, just know, number one, I need some tickets ringside. That's first thing I need. I need some ringside tickets, my guy.
Hey, number two, comic books don't have anything on the story that's getting laid out now. That's real famous there.
And number two, Dana, you'd whoop everybody's ass that would ever challenge you. I'm just going to – I got your back. I got your back, Dana.
Stop. Hey, Aaron, I appreciate you coming on, brother. Thank you for being awesome. We definitely got to get you back on,
man. Steven, it was great to meet you, man.
It was a pleasure, man. I really enjoyed it.
Hey, Aaron, we got to definitely have you come back on, man. Please tell everybody where they can find you, and we'll talk again for sure. But let everybody know where they can find you, please.
Yeah, Aaron Riley MMA, Instagram and Twitter both. It's been kind of lax. I'll have to start throwing out some more material, some good stuff. But Aaron Riley MMA, Twitter and Instagram both. That's my handle for both. So anyhow, it was great getting in here and chatting with you guys tonight, and looking forward to coming back and telling some more stories sometime.
Hey man, we definitely got to have you come back on. So my quick question I really had, what was one of the biggest things that influenced you in combat sports overall?
Oh, as far as what inspired me to continue doing it, or where did I find motivation? It was weird, man. Like I got so much motivation, like seriously, from from movies. It's the weirdest thing. Like I would draw a lot of inspiration from like movies that I watched as a kid, because I always wanted to aspire to that type of thing. Like you watch Rocky. Grew up watching Rocky, and then all these different martial arts movies. Like I was saying before, I just always kind of wanted to be like, a real life ninja type of thing. And the toughest guy, or like the Street Fighter 2 video game, who's the greatest martial artist in the world? Mm-hmm. That's always what kind of drove me. And I felt like having a UFC championship title, that's kind of indicative of achieving that goal of, the best martial artist. So that's what I was always going after. I didn't quite get there, but I was able to have a awesome experience and meet a lot of great people along the way.
Well, that's right. You did. I mean, you did put on one heck of a fight with George Gurgel. Shout out to him, man. But that was one war. That was a war. That was a great fight which you won, man. So, congrats on that one. But I think that was fight of the night, that fight, wasn't it?
It was. That was that UFC 91, the same night as Lesnar Couture. So, that was that was a phenomenal event, man, for a lot of reasons. I actually missed my sister's wedding because I was like going to be fighting that night. I missed the wedding, but the way I was able to redeem myself was I was able to bring her and my brother-in-law out to Vegas for a honeymoon.
Nice.
I won the fight, and I got fight night. So they would treat them out for a pretty good night on the town after that.
That's a fantastic story right there in itself, man.
We got 3 good stories for Aaron for the price of one.
Stories from Aaron Riley tonight, man. Hey, Aaron, will we see you at a UFC event again soon?
Maybe hanging out there, like I said, judging or cornering or just watching it, enjoying it. I don't plan to be back in that cage, but I definitely enjoyed the time I was out there doing it, though.
Hey, Aaron, again, thanks for coming on, brother. We appreciate you. I know Steven and I do. Mike is probably
great,
missing
brother.
you because Mike couldn't make it on tonight. But again, man, we appreciate you for coming on, and thanks for being a guest. You're awesome.
It was a pleasure, man. I'm looking forward to coming back.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon.
All right. Take care, guys.
Later. Steven, wow.
My guy. I'm just saying, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I was not planning on co-hosting tonight, bro.
Hey, listen, I appreciate you staying on, man. Mike, I got a bone to pick with you, son.
So do I.
Hey,
so do I. And so does my wife.
Hey, actually, he was struggling he sent me a text message, said he apologized. He was struggling to get on. He was having technical issues with his computer, too. I don't know what it was about this area, man. But, it is what it is. But listen, thanks to everybody that tuned in. I'm going to make it real quick and short and sweet. Tune in next Wednesday night for the next Fire Nights podcast.
Same time.
8 p.m. We got another great show lined up. We got some great fighters coming on, man.
Do we have What's Her Face coming on?
No, that won't be till another 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. Still working on Christy Martin will be on here in a couple weeks. So
I'm excited for that one. That's going to be great.
But you'll be there, Steven. But anyway, everything else is great, man. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please like the channel. And thank you for your continued support. NorCal Autos, well, that's the Godfather, says, great job, fellas. Still tuning in. Appreciate you, NorCal.
Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m.
8 a.m.
I will be there.
Blockers. He'll be there at 8:30, actually, because he's never on time. 8:30.
No, 8 a.m. 8 a.m.
8 a.m. tomorrow?
I do 8 a.m. now. It's not 8:30 no more. I need to change the graphic, actually.
Oh, so it's 8 a.m. now, ladies and gentlemen. Stephen D. Clock Blockers in this show, So, yeah, there you have it. Again, thanks for tuning in.
I love you, brother. Be good.
I love you, too. Hey, thank you to all our guests, man, that came in. Aaron Riley, Tafon, Shelton, Joe.
No.
This show was amazing.
Shelton's barber. And Shelton.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for tuning in, guys. All right. Peace.
Fins up. See y'all later.
Fins up.